Southbound after Old Hickory Boulevard. I'm Ken Weaver.
All right, what's going on, gang? It's the Matt Murphy Radio Show underway for another day. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Pleased you've decided to join us. Whatever time you're able to give us, I'm appreciative of that as well. We have 4 full hours, 240 minutes, and I hope that I can get every piece of information that I have in front of me in during that allotment of time. There's always a danger that we cannot do so because you are most important during these 4 hours. 615-737-9986. 615-737-WWTN. That's the telephone number. I love taking telephone calls. It's old school, baby. Love talking with you on the telephone about whatever subject comes to your mind. Of course, I want it to be of interest to the general audience. But outside of that, that's really the only – well, I got 3 rules. 3 rules. Rule number 1, call only once per day. Rule number 2, don't be boring. Rule number 3, do not read to me because that's boring. That's it. That's it. Other than that, anything on your mind is fair game. 615-737-9986. As evidenced by the call from Mike yesterday, if you were watching, I feel like if you were watching Mike's call on Super Talk TV, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Rumble, if you were watching Mike's call, it was far more entertaining than actually listening to it because during the telephone call, I left. I don't know if you knew that or not, but I had to take a break. And I did take a break, and I came back, and Mike was still talking. But Mike and I have communicated via email. That is more of a one-on-one conversation between Mike and myself. And fear ye not. I committed to him yesterday that I will help him out, and several of you have asked me about that today. And I have engaged, and we will continue to engage and try to get him the help that he deserves. A lot of damn talk on the show yesterday. And if you missed the show yesterday, you're like, why are you cursing, Matt? I'm not. There was a lot of damn talk on the show. We will continue the damn conversation at some future time because we have just scratched the damn surface.
Fiddlesticks.
Ken, it will never be old to me. And I know that some people hate it, but I can't help myself. I absolutely love it.
It's fun.
It's a lot of fun. I think it's a fabulous time. I mean, there was a lot of damn conversation on the super text line, Ken. I don't know if you saw that. Listen, at 7 o'clock last night when all of us went home, you think the damn conversation was over? No! There was so much damn conversation going around the dinner tables in Nashville, Tennessee, you couldn't shake a stick at it. Jackson.
This joke's getting old and tired, just like Matt.
I told Jackson that I was looking at a house, Ken, because I'm looking at a house. I'm going to look at a house tomorrow.
All right.
Yeah, how about that? Decided to take up roots. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at a house. What did you say to me, Jackson? I said, Jackson, I'm looking at a house.
Are you sure that's a wise long-term investment at your age?
This kid's never going to see 40. Hell, 30. Not at this rate.
Because you're going to kill me?
I'll push you down a flight of stairs. I will. I'll do it. My stairs in my new house. Jackson, come look at the new house. Oh, no, you got to see upstairs. Bloop, 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 bloop.
And then Matt will make sure that I'm down by taking the chairlift down.
He did. He said, Matt, is that a one-story house? I said, no, Jackson, it's not a one-story house. And the next thing he says, kid, is, you going to install a chairlift? It's like, no, Jackson, unlike some people I know, I have trouble getting up and down those stairs. Jerk.
Oh.
You mess with the bull, young man.
You're going to get the horns.
You get the horns. Have you ever seen The Breakfast Club?
No.
Okay, I'm marking these down for our Friday movies.
Well, and you got a point like this.
That's right. You mess with 2 months, Bender. I got you. You're mine.
That's not how I normally point.
You mess with the bull, young man. You get the horns.
Oh, this fella does, Brother Jackson. Wait till you see him.
Oh, man.
Ken, do you know how I normally point?
You,
Yeah, I have another. Easy.
I'm not on camera.
We have families watching.
I'm not on camera.
Another great line of his was, yeah, I got a question. Does Barry Manilow know that you raid his wardrobe? I'll give you the answer to that question, Mr. Bender, next Saturday. Anyway, lots to get into on the show today. We invite you to be a part of it in any way that you can. You can listen on radio, 99.7 FM, from Alabama to Kentucky and all points in between. You can find us on iHeart, Spotify, TuneIn, our own app. Please download our own app. Do me a favor. I don't get any money for this, but I beg of you. Just give us the old like and subscribe if you're over on Talk TV. What does that cost those folks, Ken?
absolutely nothing, boys. Yeah.
Not a dime just to give us the old hello, and the old thumbs up, or the like or subscribe, or wherever you might be watching. We appreciate you listening on the apps, watching on Talk TV, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and Rumble. We say thank you. We are so appreciative of that. And I'm just trying to one of these days get as many thumbs up as Chris Hand does. Man, he gets you know what? You know why he gets so many thumbs up, Ken?
Why's that?
Because he uses his children. And see,
yeah.
Maybe I should start using the dogs.
There you go.
Like, remember that National Lampoon's magazine cover? So good. Buy this magazine or the dog gets it.
I
You
don't
remember
remember
that?
that.
Oh,
no.
look it up. National Lampoon. Oh, it is the best, potentially the best magazine cover in the history of magazine covers.
I'm going to look it up right now.
Look it up. Jackson Williams, while Ken is looking that up, let me explain it to you. So there used to be these things called magazines, Jackson.
I know about magazines.
You know
Matt.
about magazines?
Yes.
Like Sports Illustrated and that sort of thing?
Yes.
Well, there was a comedy magazine. You looking at it, Ken?
I'm typing it in.
National Lampoon's dog cover should get you there.
Okay, National Lampoon's dog.
Is it like Mad Magazine?
Yeah, kind of. A comedy magazine like Mad Magazine. And on the cover of National Lampoon's magazine, there was a picture of a dog. And there was a gun next to the dog's head.
Oh, goodness.
And you looking at it?
Oh, that does send me to a site.
What was the... Uh-oh.
Never mind.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh. Be careful, Ken.
That's the work computer.
Uh-oh. News Closet B just got virused.
I got to figure out who I can blame this on.
Ken, why are you taking your shirt off?
Jones. I'd blame Jones.
Jones been looking up stuff.
Anyway, the cover
Goodness.
it's a pretty famous / infamous magazine cover because they put the dog on the cover, and it's just a dog, and the dog's got a gun to his head, a real gun to his head, and the caption is "Buy this magazine or the dog gets it."
There it is.
No, I think it actually said "Buy this magazine or we'll kill this dog."
Yeah, if you don't buy this book, we'll kill this dog.
That's my kind of humor.
Goodness.
Anyway, if you don't like and subscribe this radio station, I don't know what I'll do. I'm not going to kill any of my animals. Maybe Jackson, though.
Yeah, it says, if you don't buy this magazine, we'll kill this dog. That poor little fella's got a gun to his head.
And the way he's looking over at they caught him where he's kind of giving the old side eye.
Yeah, give him the side eye.
To the guy with the, yeah, they didn't kill the dog, everybody.
No, it was just a ploy.
It worked.
Yeah.
It apparently worked. But we'd love for you to like and subscribe to the show and do what you need to do to show us your support. We appreciate you. You can also call the show to show support, 615-737-9986. It is Election Day in the United States of America for many states. Well, I guess not that many states. Forgive me for not knowing this. I mean, it's New Jersey and it's Virginia, and is that basically it?
New Jersey, Virginia, governor, and then New York City mayor.
New York City mayor, and then a couple of things out in California, propositions and whatever.
Yeah, the gerrymandering thing.
All right, so listen, all day long, and we were talking during the crossover with Chad Benson about this, I've been hearing from the leftist media that this is all a referendum on Donald J. Trump.
These states.
Yeah, these states. So if you want to know what the American people think, I mean, this is the premise. Let me put on my hashtag NeverCNN hat here and present the news as an anchor at hashtag NeverCNN would present the news. To remind you newbies in the listening audience, and we get them every single day, I call it hashtag NeverCNN because, well, hashtag NeverCNN. Do not watch CNN. CNN is a garbage network with garbage people on their network, on your television, spewing, well, garbage. They are not fair-minded. They are not fair and balanced. They are not middle of the road. They are not any of those things that they say they are, and they think that you are stupid. Don't watch this clap. I'll watch so you don't have to. You see, I consider it an occupational hazard. It is a part of my job. I get paid to do it. You don't, so I'll do it, and I'll report. Okay? Okay. So these nonsensical anchors on hashtag NeverCNN are letting us know every way, 6 ways till Sunday, that this is a referendum on Donald Trump. Oh, this is a referendum on the second term of Donald Trump. Oh, this is going to serve to be a referendum on Donald. Well, you see, the voters are going to the polls today in Virginia, New Jersey, and New York City. And, so the suggestion is that in New York City, that if Donald Trump was doing well, if they liked Donald Trump's policies in New York City, if they thought he was doing great, that they would be would they vote for Sliwa, the Republican? Would they vote for Cuomo, who Trump endorsed for no reason?
Yeah.
For no reason. Look, Donald Trump's asked the question. He answers the question. Who would you vote? You vote for Andrew Cuomo because he's the only guy that's got a shot at it, right? Curtis Sliwa, as nice of a guy as Curtis Sliwa is, and as much as he loves his beloved New York City, he doesn't have a snowball's chance in hell. That's a liberal. That is just a cesspool of liberalism, socialism. And let me tell you, they're going to get what they vote for. My favorite, I think I had this up a minute ago. Hold on, let me see if I can find this. If I can, I'll go over and I'll sign into the television side of things, Jackson, and I'll play this for the folks. This was 5 seconds of just absolute beauty. There was a questioner on the street of New York City. Oh, there was a. You see my tweet of the coyote and the roadrunner? Do you see that, Jackson?
That was AI.
That was AI.
Yes.
I don't care. It was. How do you know it was AI?
Because there was a community note under it.
Was there?
Said this is very clearly AI.
Who said that? There wasn't a community note under the one that there was no community note.
I saw it last night with the community note.
But there's a coyote right there chasing a roadrunner. A real coyote chasing a real roadrunner, and the roadrunner speeds up and
believe that.
Okay.
And I have some beachfront property in Delaware.
I don't think I like you, Jackson.
Yeah, it's a common opinion.
Is it AI?
Oh.
I don't feel like that's AI. Let's see. Let's see if I can find out if that was AI or not. Damn it. I feel like an old man trying to work a remote control with this stuff.
Next,
we're not gonna be able to have any fun anymore on these things, because even if I do find one that's pretty cool and good, everyone's gonna say that it's AI.
That's just AI.
Let me see. You know what? I'm not gonna even bother. No, here it is. Let's see. Second part of the video. Okay, that's AI. Did I mention that was AI? It doesn't. I don't see the community note, Jackson. I see Roadrunner in real life, 6.5 million views, and I don't see anything about it being AI. Now, there's another one that's clearly AI. I don't know. I don't care. That wasn't the point of the story to begin with. I got distracted. Thank you, Jackson.
That Roadrunner wants you to buy a bunch of gift cards
from Acme. Right?
Yes.
That's right, Acme.
Yeah. Good old
But
Acme.
don't redeem them.
Here it is. This is no AI. All right, let me see if I can get to it. Have you sent me the thing? Oh, you did send me the thing. So, what's fascinating about what's going on in New York City is that most of the people that are voting for is it Zoran? I guess I should care because
Zoran.
Zoran Mamdani.
So the Zoran, is that like the thing in Big that Tom Hanks asked for the wish? You know, the little Zoran machine? You know what I'm talking about? In the movie Big, where he goes to the fortune teller? I think it was Zoran the fortune teller.
It could be.
Y'all tell me if I'm right or not. You know what I'm talking about? Where Tom Hanks, the kid, goes and he said, I want to be big. I wish I was big. And then the little message came out and it said, wish granted. I think that was Zoran, the fortune teller machine. Anyway.
It was Zoltar.
Oh, dadgummit. Zoltar. I'm 0 for 2, Jackson. And it's just the first segment of the show.
And you're late, 0 for 3.
You know what? I feel like I'm early for me. When we go to the news at 31 after, I feel like I'm early for me. I feel like Ken, he's a victim of Stockholm syndrome, right? He's like, I beat him and I beat him and I beat him and I beat him. And I go at 32, 33. I beat him down so much that when I go to 31, which is technically a minute late going to the news, he goes, wow, this is great.
I get to do a tease.
It's 3:31 on the dot.
All right, I'll get my crap together and we'll get back to this video. But it's a lady. It's New York City Logic in 5 seconds. And I'll play it for you next on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hi, friends. It's Matt Murphy, and the Tennessee Men's Clinic now has 3 separate locations in Middle Tennessee to serve you and to serve your needs. The original location is right here in Nashville, Tennessee. The new location opened a couple of years ago in Cool Springs, just south of the city, and now they have a 3rd location in Clarksville with more to come, and I'll tell you more about that coming up a little bit later on this year or possibly at the beginning of 2026. Bottom line is this, man. It's 2025. It's not 1975. There was a time in your life when you lost the can-do and you still had the want-to when it came to intimacy in your life, when it came to bedroom activity, when it came to romance with you and your partner. You were just out of luck. If performance was a problem, then that was just a problem that you were going to have to deal with for the rest of your life. Now you have solutions in the form of Tennessee Men's Clinic. But what they want to do, they want to bring you in, and for $99, they're going to give you a comprehensive examination, take a little blood work, see what's going on in your body, see where your T levels are, see where everything else is, and they're going to develop a plan of action specific to you and your needs, specific to where you are in terms of energy level, and they can get you back in the game, man, and that's what it's all about. Getting you back in that game and making sure that you don't sit on the sidelines any longer. The biggest complaint that they get at Tennessee Men's Clinic when men go to the clinic is that the men waited too long. That's the complaint. Do not be these guys. Let's do this today. Let's get back in the game. Call them for a scheduled appointment, or you can go online to find out more. TennesseeMen'sClinic.com or the number 615-208-9090, 208-9090.
With no end in sight to the government shutdown and SNAP benefits no longer flowing, Governor Lee says Tennessee is stepping up with $5 million in grants. I'll tell you more about that at 3:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Yes, indeed, Ken Weaver. Thank you for being around with us. Super Talk 99.7 WTN, 28 minutes after the hour, 615-737-9986, 615-737-WWTN. That's the way to reach the radio station. That's the way to reach the radio show, and we'd appreciate you if you did that. So as promised, here's that clip. So this is 5 seconds of deliciousness from New York City. And it says everything you need to know about the mayoral vote in New York City in 5 seconds. So y'all ready? Everything you need to know about the New York City vote in 5 seconds. You can watch on Supertalk TV. You can listen here. Listen up. Oh, wait, it helps if Murphy turns the volume on, which I've just done. Listen up.
I voted for Mamdani.
Do you feel like socialism would work in New York City?
No, not necessarily.
That's it. Listen to it again.
I voted for Mamdani.
Do you feel like socialism would work in New York City?
No, not necessarily.
I voted for Mamdani. Do you feel like socialism will work in New York City? No, not necessarily. Jackson, what is Matt Murphy about to scream into my microphone? So she says, I voted for Mamdani. Do you think socialism is going to work in New York City? No, not necessarily. What does Matt Murphy want to scream?
He's a socialist?
Then why did you vote for Mamdani? He's a socialist.
Yeah.
It's not Matt Murphy saying he's a socialist. Mamdani says he's a socialist. It's not me saying that Zoran Mamdani, or whatever the hell his name is, wants to seize the private means of production and turn that over to the state. That's him saying that. That's him saying that he wants to seize the profits of companies in New York City. It's him saying that he wants to take over private organizations and turn them into functions of the state. It's him that says he wants free buses for everyone. It's him that says he wants rent control for everyone. It's not me. It's him. So when Mamdani tells you what he is, why in the world would you not believe him? Why in the world any Jewish citizen of New York City would vote for Zoran Mamdani is beyond me. He has declared, when he began as an activist in New York City, his message was, from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free, meaning we are going to destroy all of Israel and all of the Jewish people. Now, maybe some Jewish residents of New York City know better than me. I don't know. All right, it's 30 after the hour. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. We'll be back in a moment.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Full forecast and traffic coming up in 5 minutes. And right now in Tennessee, Governor Lee says $5 million in new funding is going to go help prop up food banks for folks who rely on SNAP to buy groceries here in Tennessee. This help's going to be needed, as President Trump says there'll be no emergency federal funds for SNAP until the radical left Democrats vote to reopen the government. That means the issue's headed back to court with a hearing scheduled on Thursday.
The groups and localities that have taken this into court say the administration is failing to abide by the Rhode Island-based federal judge's ruling, and now they want it enforced. A USDA official submitted a sworn declaration to the court yesterday saying partial payments from SNAP's contingency fund could take weeks, if not months, to distribute. The plaintiffs say the judge should order the government to pay out this month's benefits in full. He has ordered the administration to respond in writing by close of business tomorrow. He's also scheduled a hearing on Thursday.
Former Vice President Dick Cheney, considered by many political observers to be one of the most influential vice presidents in history, has died. He was 84 years old. His political career spanned decades. He was White House Chief of Staff for President Gerald Ford, Secretary of Defense under President George H.W. Bush, served as a congressman from Wyoming, and was President George W. Bush's vice president. In a statement, his family says he died due to complications of pneumonia and cardiac and vascular disease. We get more from ABC's Karen Travers.
He was beloved by conservatives and vilified by the left, compared to a Star Wars villain.
They wouldn't call me Darth Vader for nothing.
He was known for his increasingly conservative views on nearly everything but gay rights, perhaps because he had a gay daughter.
That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. Man, we got that complete stop and go underway. Eastbound 24 right there at 440. It is that way if you are eastbound 40 trying to get to the North Loop downtown. Crashes, got one in Goodlettsville. This one involves injury. Gallatin Pike North, just south of Conference Drive. Then in Madison, 65 southbound after Old Hickory Boulevard. And in Paytonsville, got a crash. 840 eastbound past Paytonsville, Trinity Road, exit 34. I'm Ken Weaver.
Couple of follow-ups. By the way, it's the Matt Murphy Radio Show, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Yes, I have a comment about Dick Cheney. Why wouldn't I? I also have a comment about the filibuster. I also have a follow-up on Senator Heidi Campbell, who accused the President of the United States of America of being a child rapist on her social media platform, and to my knowledge has yet to pull it down. Like, that's no big deal. In the meantime, the governor of the state of Tennessee, Governor Bill Lee, has announced that he is providing, through his authority and capacity, $5 million, I believe it is, in food assistance to those in need during the SNAP benefits pause. We'll talk about that on the show as well. I have a few thoughts on that too. But, Jackson, there are mixed reports, but I would suggest that most people are of the mind that it is not AI. The video in question that I posted on my social media platform at Matt Murphy Show, you can go look at it yourself. Judge for yourself. There's a coyote out there. Looks like a coyote to me. There's a roadrunner out there. Looks like a roadrunner to me. And it was like, ooh, look, real life coyote and roadrunner. I'm not saying it wasn't a setup. I'm certain it was a setup. Just telling you that the reviews are mixed as to whether or not it's AI. In the meantime, 1290 writes in and says, if you don't like and subscribe to this radio show and this television show, Ken Weaver is going to brick another woodpecker. No, let's not. Y'all. Well, y'all don't. Let's not make these types of threats.
He was going to do it anyway.
4896 says, threatening to take out young Jackson is not going to help with likes. No one likes him. See, that's harsh. I feel like even that's harsh for me.
Everybody loves Brother Jackson.
Everybody loves Jackson. Who doesn't like Jackson? Eric writes in and says, we know Matt won't kill any animals, but Ken Weaver damn sure will. Turtles and woodpeckers anyway.
Well, only turtles if they're messing with my fish.
Well, yeah, you can't have a turtle on the fish line.
Especially whenever there's a whole bunch of turtles in the pond.
Man, my grandpa would get mad at those turtles. I think that's how we ended up having turtle stew, Ken. I'm not kidding, because you catch your fish. We're in the fish pond in the rowboat, right? Just a little flat bottom boat.
Yes, sir.
And you when you catch fish, put your fish on the stringer and put it in the water. So your fish are still in the water.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
You with me? But they're not in a basket. He had just a stringer, and he would run it through the gills, out the mouth.
Right.
And then they're on the stringer. And so that keeps them fresh, keeps them alive. And you don't have to have a well or anything.
Right.
And then, here we are. One day he sees something pulling on the line, and he pulls up. There's a big old snapping turtle eating the fish on the end of the line.
Yep.
And my grandfather commenced to beat that snapping turtle to death with his oar. I mean, just beat him senseless. I don't think we ate the snapping turtle, though. I can't remember how all of that happened, but one way or the other. So that's an update on some of the loose ends that we talked about in the first segment of the show. Dick Cheney was 84 years old. I felt like he was 84 years old when he was vice president, didn't y'all? I mean, Dick Cheney's one of those guys that it was perpetually old. I mean, even when he was not that much. I mean, I guess he was that much older than me, but
Not that much.
He was 84. Jackson, do you know who Dick Cheney was?
He shot somebody, right? Did he kill that guy? It was a hunting accident. He shot somebody, right?
He didn't kill anybody, but he did.
I saw a tweet today that he was a top 2 vice president in shooting people in the face.
Well, that's true. He did. He shot a guy in the face with a shotgun. I think it was a 20 gauge, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, accidental shooting right in the face. That did happen, Jackson. Jackson, would you care to thrill us with your knowledge about Dick Cheney's political career? Can you name us the president of the United States of America that Dick Cheney served as vice president with?
He was Little Bush.
Oh, that's very good. Yes, he was. Bush Jr., George W. Bush. That's correct. But he also served with George H.W. Bush. He was Secretary of Defense with George H.W. Bush. He loved the Bushes. He's all in the bushes.
Yes.
Little Bush. Cheney served 2 generations of Bush presidents as defense secretary for George H.W. Bush, helped plan and execute the Gulf War. You know, we don't talk a lot about the first Gulf War. First Gulf War seemed justified. The first Gulf War holds up. Am I wrong, y'all? Am I wrong?
The first Gulf War?
The first Gulf War holds up. The number one, where Saddam Hussein went into Kuwait.
It was naked aggression.
It was, we're taking over this country. We don't want Kuwait to be a country anymore. We want it to be a part of Iraq. We're taking it over. And the first Bush said, no, you can't do all that. This is back in 91, 92. Said, you can't do all of that. And Bush the elder said, you know what? If we don't step up with an alliance of like-minded countries and do something about this, we can't allow Iraq to push this little nation around. And so we went in, we did a job, and we left. And I feel like that stands up. Now, of course, everything went into calamity after that. And sadly, the Iraqi people were of the mindset and had been given information back in the day that we were coming in to liberate them too. And we didn't do that because we had said we weren't going to do that. And so we didn't do that. That said, I feel like Gulf War I holds up, meaning this naked aggression, as Ken Weaver described it, very aptly said, can't stand. It's similar in nature to what we're watching Russia do with Ukraine, honestly. A little bit bigger scale with Russia and Ukraine, and less of a unified desire to militarily deal with it. But Kuwait was such a little guy, and of course there were oil interests involved. I'm not denying that. But we go in, we push Saddam Hussein out of Kuwait, we get him back into Iraq, and then we leave. We get out of there. We do a little bit to protect Kuwait. The second one in 2003, no sense in that whatsoever. I mean, obviously, I feel like there's a lot of people that look back on this with the benefit of hindsight. At the time, almost every intelligence agency around believed that Saddam Hussein was in possession of a stockpile of weapons of mass destruction. And that became the justification for the second round in Iraq in 2003. Obviously, we were already engaged in Afghanistan after 9/11 because Afghanistan was chiefly responsible for the harboring of the terrorists who mainly came from Saudi Arabia. And that's another aspect that we never got into because Saudi Arabia was our quote-unquote friend. But the idea that Saudi Arabia didn't know some of what was going on in the initial planning stages is a little bit unbelievable. That said, we go into Afghanistan, justifiably so. We're trying to root out those that did us harm, and we were going to kill those people, and we did. But then we took a side track to Iraq based on the belief that Saddam Hussein was stockpiling weapons of mass destruction and killing his own people with them, or willing to kill his own people with them. There were never any stockpiles of weapons of mass destruction found. It was all bluster by Saddam Hussein. You would think that intelligence agencies around the globe would have recognized that. Many people immediately turned their attention to Dick Cheney's desire to go into Iraq to benefit many of his Texas buddies that owned companies that became very, very rich as a result of the Iraq conflict in 2003, 2004, 2005, and beyond. And for that reason, not a lot of folks liked Dick Cheney in the aftermath. Dick Cheney was a war hawk. I don't like war hawks. And I did not like him as vice president of the United States of America. I felt that George W. Bush, in his initial response to 9/11, was at his best. But other than that, I feel like George W. Bush's presidency was a failure. We added to the national debt tremendously. The war on terror, as it was a relative success. But you cannot escape the fact that George Bush, on his watch, watched as 3,000 innocent Americans lost their lives because we didn't have the intelligence apparatus together to see that we were about to be attacked by an internationally known terrorist organization by the name of Al-Qaeda. one would think that Dick Cheney, as George Bush's point man on international affairs and foreign policy, would have a team better assembled to get a handle on it. Now, their excuse was we were just in office for 9 months. Okay, fair enough. But you were at the lead when all of this happened. The response was good enough. But other than that, I don't believe the Bush administration was a success at all. A lot of establishment Republicans spending way too much money and not doing conservative-like things. And Dick Cheney was the tip of that spear. Many people believe that he was the brains behind the Bush White House. I certainly would say this. If not the brains, he was the last guy. You know, remember when Kamala Harris said that she was the last guy in the room with Joe Biden? And that Joe Biden made sense and Joe Biden was speaking, well, and Joe Biden, there was no mental disruption with Joe Biden as president of the United States, which we all know is a load of garbage. Well, Kamala Harris being the last person in the room is probably a load of garbage, too. Let me tell you this, though. Under George W. Bush, Dick Cheney was most certainly the last guy in the room. And the commonly held belief was that Dick Cheney could convince George W. Bush to do what Dick Cheney wanted George W. Bush to do. And you know what Dick Cheney wanted to do? A lot. Go to war. A lot. And was the architect of many of these forever wars that we talk about so much in 2025. Afghanistan was necessary, but Afghanistan should have been handled in 3 years, 4 years max. But we engaged in what we love to do, man, and that's nation building, and it never works. It does not work, certainly in the Middle East, because they don't recognize these arbitrary lines that we draw anyway. So I'll say this. In the immortal words of Clint Eastwood, in the fabulous feature film that I'm certain that Jackson Williams has never seen, called Unforgiven. Yes or no, Jackson?
No.
Great movie. One of my top three. One of my top three all-time, Jackson, and I predict that you will hate it. Oh, you'll have to watch it, but I predict you'll hate it. Clint Eastwood, Gene Hackman, you know who that is? Morgan Freeman, you know who that is? Oh, yeah, all in it. All in it. But as the fabulous feature film Unforgiven taught us, we all got it coming, kid. I mean, we've all got it coming. We're all going to die. And it is not the beginning nor the end, but the time in the middle by which you are judged. I didn't know Dick Cheney. I don't know what type of human being he was in terms of his personal interaction with other people. But I do know this. Dick Cheney was of an old school opinion that individual lives did not matter if the, quote, greater good was accomplished in your war planning. And sadly, a lot of the greater good had to do with a lot of people making a lot of money and no good policy proposal advancement in terms of the foreign policy that would see benefit to the United States of America. Is that making sense to everyone? In other words, I'm not questioning Dick Cheney's motivations more than I know them. Many people will today. I will not. And I wish his family well. Dick Cheney was such a war hawk and such an establishment Republican that he turned his back on Donald Trump. And I think that's primarily because of his love affair with the Bush family and the fact that Donald Trump destroyed Jeb Bush with 3 words. Low energy Jeb. So that's what I have to say about Dick Cheney. It's 8 minutes until the top of the hour. 615-737-9986. I've got a lot to say about the filibuster, and I'll start it off coming up in a moment on Super Talk. Hey, friends, it's Matt Murphy for Defend Systems. Brink Fiddler and his team want to help you. If you're a business owner, if you are a decision maker at a church or a school, listen up, because Defend Systems is an active shooter and security consultation firm based right here in Middle Tennessee. That is a fancy way of saying they'll come into your business, they'll come into your school, they'll come into your church, and the decision makers involved in day-to-day activities can get together, and they will train you. They will help you understand how dangerous today's world has become without scaring you. They'll help you understand exactly what you should do in your facility in terms of site survey and threat assessment. They'll do a workplace violence prevention seminar with you. They'll talk to you about active shooter response, security improvement consultation, emergency and intruder action plans. I mean, they teach you what to do in the unlikely event that something bad happens in your workplace or in your school or in your church. I mean, ask yourself this question. Do you know what to do now? I mean, if something bad started going down, do you know what to do? I do. And that's only to say I've been a part of Brink Fiddler's seminars, many of them, as a matter of fact. My first one was right here at Cumulus, Nashville, and I've gone to many others as a refresher to make sure that I understand exactly what to do in the case of the unlikely event that danger comes our way. Hope is not a plan, friends. It's time to get trained with the defense system. 615-236-6484, 236-6484, or online at defensesystems.com.
President Trump says there's not going to be any snap until, as he put it, the radical left Democrats stop blocking reopening the government. We'll tell you what Governor Lee has announced to help folks who rely on that program for groceries, and other top stories coming up at 4 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Oh boy, apparently I'm making a lot of people mad because they miss. I don't know if you're listening to everything I'm saying or what, but we'll get into this for just a second because many of you have either misunderstood or maybe I was inarticulate in my expression as to my thoughts and feelings about Dick Cheney and the conflicts that Dick Cheney was an architect of. I'm not bad-mouthing any soldier that served in Desert Storm or Desert Shield or any other conflict. I don't do that. I honor the men and women who serve our country bravely, who wear the uniform. God bless you, every single one of you. But to suggest that any criticism that I have about the leadership decision to engage in what ultimately was a failed conflict is somehow an assassination on the troops themselves, that's ridiculous. That's absurd. Of course that's not what I'm doing. Matt Murphy, how the hell would you know? This is from 3871. How the hell would you know about serving in Desert Shield, Desert Storm, and then in Afghanistan, and then Iraq in 2003? I see reasons why we went back in there. If you've never served anything but yourself at a effing Waffle House. And yes, I served in all three of those conflicts and can attest to my VA records that I have lung damage from mustard gas that we found in western Iraq. Look, I understand that there were pockets of danger in Iraq, and I'm sorry for what happened to you, and I honor your service. And you're welcome to call me, sir. 615-737-9986. I'll give you an opportunity to speak your mind. And I honor your service. It doesn't change my opinion on the conflict. 1 hour down, 3 to go. Super Talk.
Four o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast and traffic in 5 minutes. And right now in our nation's capital, funding snaps headed back to court after President Trump today announced there will be no snap until, as he put it, the radical left Democrats stop blocking reopening the government. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries at a news conference pushed back.
These Republicans on Capitol Hill, on the House side and on the Senate side, they don't work for the American people. They work for Donald Trump. And so he's going to continue to make his position clear until they eventually cave, which is what they always do.
And then Georgia Republican Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene went on ABC's The View.
The worst thing that I just can't get over is we're not working right now. And I put that criticism directly on the Speaker of the House. And we should be at work. All the people sitting in this audience, they go to work every day. People at home watching this show, they go to work every day.
Well, Speaker Johnson argues recalling the House would be a futile exercise because the chamber already passed a Republican-backed continuing resolution to fund the government through November 21st. Meanwhile, in Tennessee, Governor Bill Lee committing $5 million to strengthen food banks across the state. The grants will be distributed to all 95 counties based on need, part of the state's faith-based and community initiative. For food assistance or volunteer opportunities, you can go to feedtn.org. Meanwhile, Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy warning Democrats about the consequences if they keep stonewalling.
If you bring us to a week from today, Democrats, you will see mass chaos. You will see mass flight delays. You'll see mass cancellations, and you may see us close certain parts of the airspace because we just cannot manage it because we don't have the air traffic controllers.
Former Vice President Dick Cheney has died at the age of 84 from pneumonia and heart issues. His family says Cheney rejected President Trump in his final years, endorsed Kamala Harris. During a news conference on the government shutdown, House Speaker Mike Johnson offered condolences.
Our condolences, our prayers go out to the Cheney family. Of course, we've had the loss now of former Vice President Dick Cheney. Scripture is very clear. We give honor where honor is due, and someone who gave their life, loved their country, loved serving their country in so many capacities.
Election 2025, one of the biggest races today is for New York City mayor, where Democrat Zohran Mamdani has been leading in the polls. He voted this morning in Queens, said he would fight for federal money, which President Trump suggested would be withheld if Mamdani is elected.
I know that doing so is something that threatens Donald Trump. It's why he's gone after Attorney General James, because she had the audacity to hold him to the same law that every New Yorker is held to. But I will not be intimidated by this president. I will not be intimidated by anyone, because my job here is to serve the people of the city.
That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. All right, we've got that stop-and-go building eastbound 440 over to 24, then northbound north leg up to the northern split, eastbound south loop over to 65. Northbound 65, you're slowing down getting up to the south loop. Look for an accident in Williamson County if you're 840. That's going to be eastbound past Paytonsville Trinity Road, exit 34. I'm Ken Weaver.
All right, we've got an update number 2 on the biggest controversy of the day thus far on the Matt Murphy Radio Show on Super Talk. By the way, hello, welcome back. Thank you for being with us, whether you're listening in your automobile, your home, your place of business. I thank you, thank you, thank you. Maybe you're watching on Talk TV. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Life is good. That's just for you Talk TV folks. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, or Rumble. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, or Rumble. We beg of you to give us the old thumbs up. I'm just trying to get up to those Chris Hand numbers. That's all I'm trying to do. That's all I'm trying to do. By the way, had a great conversation with Dan Mandis earlier today.
Brother Dan Mandis.
I wagged my finger at Dan Mandis and told him, why did Nashville's morning news not warn the afternoon show not to show that SNL hockey skit?
Did we get taken down?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we did?
Oh, yeah. Ken, you know about this?
I do not.
So, actually, Dan and I were having a laugh about it. So, I missed, I had a couple of appointments yesterday morning, missed a lot of Dan Mandis and Nashville's Morning News. I try not to, but I missed yesterday morning. Well, you know that SNL skit on hockey? Did you see that, Ken?
I did not see it, but I saw that there was one.
Yeah, this was it was a pretty funny skit. And late in the show yesterday, as you were wrapping up the news and getting ready to get out of here and abuse yourself on I-24,
yeah,
we decided to rack that skit on Talk TV, play that skit. Oh yeah, SNL skit.
Oh yeah, both of our shows are gone.
So as soon as I did, I was like, man, this is a funny skit. And the skit was supposed to be a public service announcement from the National Hockey League. Yeah. And it was like, hi, I'm so-and-so with the LA Kings. We're not just kings on the ice. We're kings in your neighborhood.
Community.
Or community.
Yeah.
Well, good gracious, Jackson. What's the difference? Neighborhood, community. Anyway, so and then the next guy is I'm a ranger for my community, and then the third guy says I'm a predator in my community, and he goes, wait a minute, that doesn't sound right. Can we move on from that? Anyway, long story short, we played the entire clip, and we got deplatformed. And I don't know if you saw on the super text line, Jackson. As soon as we started playing it, you know what people said? Dan
got banned.
It's like, don't do this.
I'm looking at it right now. It says it's blocked worldwide. They nuked both of the shows off the internet.
Worldwide.
You mean the whole show?
Yes.
Man, that was a good show, too, guys.
And now nobody knows what happened in the Tennessee-Oklahoma game. I'm happy to report, everybody, Tennessee won. Suck it, Ken.
Now if people go back and listen to Mike's call, they'll think I was totally engaged and was just letting the guy talk. They'll never know what happened during Mike's call because that is not on video anymore.
Oh.
Should I tell them? So, Ken, were you listening at all during this fellow's Mike's call?
Yes.
Yeah, he had a big issue with insurance. I left, so I had to. I left at one point.
Yes.
During his call, I got up and left. And no offense to Mike, we're going to try to help Mike out, but it was just he was destroying my radio career single-handedly, right there on the radio. And so nobody will be able to see that, and I'm very upset about it. No one will be able to watch as I make multiple dam jokes concerning our Columbia Dam conversation. That's very sad.
Just none of that.
None of it. All of it's gone forever.
All because of that SNL skit.
Stupid SNL. And you would think it's up on YouTube. Why is it some sort of transgression if it's on YouTube for us to be on YouTube playing YouTube on YouTube? Anybody?
Yeah, we gave them a view.
Right.
Yeah. We're helping them.
That's what I thought. Not so much. Not so much. They didn't think so much about it.
Got 64 likes yesterday.
Oh, I think we're over that already today. I hope.
53.
6436 said, I was going to go back and listen to Mr. Delk's rebuttal to the Columbus Dam. I know. Hey, somebody said, go to Rumble. It's all still there. Hey, there you go. Rumble don't give a damn. You can do anything you want on Rumble.
I've got to give me one of them Rumble accounts.
You got to get you a Rumble, Ken. Everything goes on Rumble.
That way I can tell everybody my Sooners won.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's the Wild West on Rumble.
Until Jackson gets a hold of my account.
Stay away from it, Jackson.
No promises.
By the way, quick update. Grok has weighed in on the Coyote Roadrunner controversy.
It's AI.
Grok disagrees with you, Jackson.
Oh, AI disagrees with AI.
Grok. One of our loyal listeners asked the question, Grok, is this AI? Grok responds, no. That's real footage of a coyote chasing a roadrunner across a desert road. Nature's own Looney Tunes episode. The animal behaviors align with their own wild instincts. It's not AI generation. Acme's gadgets aren't involved. just raw pursuit. There you go. So never let it be said that Matt Murphy would post anything that's phony or fake on his X account, which is all about phony and fake things. 615-737-9986. Let me get into the filibuster real quick, and then we'll move on to a few other matters involving Election Day. So I know that many of you want the immediate stimulus of eliminating the filibuster. And I understand that Donald Trump, our president of the United States of America, our man, has called for the elimination of the filibuster. And we've discussed this in the past, and I want to do two things. Number one, I want to talk about the history of the filibuster because I think it's important. And then I want to give you my take on all of this. The Senate was always designed to be the cooling body in the Congress of the United States of America. And our founding fathers did not believe that we should pass laws in a heated moment, that we should pass laws without careful and deliberate consideration. Now, obviously, the people's body, that would be the House of Representatives, is the place for good, robust debate and rhetoric, and things can get wild and crazy in there. At this point, you have 435 different congressmen, and they're throwing their bills in the hopper, and they're going wild, and they're going crazy, and they're doing all of this, and they're the appropriations body, and they're about, let's spend money here and there and everywhere. Let's make things happen for the people. And then it gets to the Senate, and the Senate is a place to allow things to simmer down and to allow individuals to, in a calmer, more deliberative fashion, debate the merits of a particular piece of legislation, whether it's absolutely necessary, et cetera. Believe it or not, there was a time in our government's history where people federally, believe it or not, I know this is going to sound crazy to all of you, but settle in, kids, and listen to what I'm about to say. Believe it or not, there was a time when politicians elected to federal office would look at their constituents and tell you that's not the federal government's job. Yeah. Believe it or not, they do it all the time. That's not the role of the federal government. You could even find a senator or a House of Representatives member, or hell, even the president of the United States, that would tell someone the 10th Amendment still means something here. And that is a job for the states. They don't do that very much anymore, y'all. How do you think we got almost $40 trillion in debt? Well, the Senate filibuster started just about as soon as the United States of America started, roughly 1806. By 1917, the filibuster had become commonplace, especially during the contentious 1850s into the 1860s as the Civil War began, but especially in the 1850s when debate was ongoing with regard to compromising on slave states versus free states and slavery versus abolition of the evil institution and everything else that went with it. And there was a lot of trade discussion. There were a lot of trade disputes between the South and the North, et cetera. Well, by 1917, the Senate adopted Rule 22. And I'm going to talk about that for just a moment. Because starting in 1806, a rule was adopted which allowed a simple majority to end debate. The rule was in place, and it was eliminated in 1806, allowing for unlimited debate. The term filibuster became popular in the 1850s in the buildup to the American Civil War, a.k.a. the War of Northern Aggression. And it truly entered the lexicon at that time. 1917, Rule 22, under pressure from President Woodrow Wilson, who was attempting to jam legislation through, Rule 22 was created. That rule would end debate with a two-thirds vote. It was a procedure that was then known as, and still is known as, cloture. In 1975, the number of votes required for cloture on legislation was lowered from 2/3 to 3/5 of the senators. So it went from 67 senators to 60 senators. But a more important aspect of what we're talking about today happened in 1975. The 1975 rule change said that it was 3/5 of senators voting, or 3/5 of senators seated, or 3/5 of senators sworn. What all of this means, and what it meant in 1975, is that the threat of a filibuster was then good enough to table a measure. And the 1975 rule change also allowed for continued discussion, debate, and action on other legislation other than the filibustered bill. Are y'all hearing me? So it allowed for the Senate to continue its business while there was a threat of a filibuster on matters on the floor of the Senate unresolved. What this essentially did was allow for the threat of a filibuster to become the filibuster itself. And now no one actually filibusters unless it's some dog and pony show where they want to break a record. See Cory Booker, see Rand Paul, see, whatever. These guys stand there and they talk for 20 hours or 25 hours. And that's all well and good. And that's fine. And that's a demonstration of the filibuster in action. What I would suggest to you is that we need to repair the filibuster and go back to pre-1975 rules. Actually, I would say this. If you eliminated the filibuster now, you give the Democrats 2 huge wins during the government shutdown. And it's a bad move on both fronts. Number one, short term, they get out of the government shutdown mess that they created. Whose fault is the government shutdown? Real quick, I'll give you 3 guesses. The first 2 don't count. Well, there's only one political party that has now 14 times in a row voted not to open up the government again. One political party has voted repeatedly to reopen the government. One political party in the White House has said that they want the government reopened. All across America, we're like, why can't we reopen the government? We can't reopen the government because of the Democrats, because of Chuck Schumer, and because of his minions in the United States Senate, and because of an inability to force them to actually put in the work. And I'm going to get to that in a minute. So short term, if you eliminated the filibuster and moved on with a cloture vote and got your continuing resolution, it would feel really good in the short term. And I understand that. And that's where Donald Trump's coming from. And he doesn't have to deal with the ramifications of any of this. He's the executive. But you would give the Democrats an out. They created this mess. And as soon as you eliminate the filibuster and move on with a vote, they'll run to the mainstream media, their buddies in the alphabet soups, ABC, CBS, NBC, MSNBC, and, of course, #NeverCNN, and they'll declare victory. And the mainstream media will confirm their messaging. Aided and abetted by the mainstream media, the Democrats will immediately declare victory if you eliminate the filibuster. Hold the line, the Dems will cave. They have to. They have to. That's number one. Number two, long term. The Democrats do not believe in the rule of law. They believe in the rule of the mob. Consistently, they have demonstrated that they are willing to violate the very laws that they claim to believe in order to achieve and accomplish their goals, which, more often than not, involve power and control and spending your money. Democrats do not believe in the rule of law. They believe in mob rule. And if you eliminate the filibuster, trust me when I tell you, it is gone forever. And God forbid that the Democrats ever get back in power. God forbid. What they would do with an ability to cram anything and everything. Imagine it, if you will. They got Obamacare crammed through with a filibuster. Imagine what they will do with single payer if they have a simple majority in the House and a simple majority in the Senate, and perish the thought, a Democrat president of the United States of America. Now, you can live as a Pollyanna, and you can tell me that that's never going to happen again. Well, that was, what was it, 4 years ago? That's what we were living in? Now, I understand why Donald Trump's frustrated, and I do not fault him for his position. I would, however, advise the President of the United States and the United States Senate a different approach. Revise the 1975 rule rather than an elimination of the filibuster altogether. In the revision, keep the 3/5 necessary to call for cloture, but require it for members present, not members voting and not members sworn, members present. Eliminate the ability to do business around the filibuster and make the filibuster the one and only thing when it is invoked in the United States Senate. You have to handle this business and this business only until you get beyond the filibuster or call for cloture. In other words, force the minority to hold the floor and actually be present while holding the floor. Right now, they can be at their home district. They can be home. They can be in California and in Hawaii and New Jersey, wherever the hell they live. And they just say, hey, we're going to filibuster, and then that's up. That's enough. Make them sit there and make them hold the floor and force these lazy SOBs to do the work. And this thing will be over in 3 days. There you go. You are welcome from Matt Murphy to your ears. 24 after the hour on Super Talk. Hello, friends. It's Matt Murphy, and I want to talk with you about Grace Point Healthcare. Modern medicine delivered the old-fashioned way. Affordable, convenient, and comprehensive medicine as well. Grace Point is in Franklin, conveniently located within the sound of my voice, really for anyone. But I would encourage you, no matter the length of the trip, it is worth the drive because they are in a direct pay format. What does that mean? That means that insurance companies don't get in your way. Pharmaceutical companies don't get in your way. Your relationship with your doctor should be sacrosanct, and it is at Grace Point Healthcare. You know exactly what you're going to pay for your service up front. Matter of fact, for a regular office visit, if you involve yourself in the Smart Care plan, $99 a month, and you get unlimited office visits throughout the course of the year. Whenever you're sick, you come on in. You don't pay anything additional for that office visit. Plus, that includes free basic labs and diagnostics. $79 for the kids, might I add. And you can utilize your HSA for these payments. And that's pretty nice, too. Now, they do house calls if you're feeling too bad to go into the office. You don't have to wait weeks on end to come in. They can see you same day or next day, even for brand new patients. Friends, it's just the old-fashioned way of doing business at the doctor's office with all of the modern medicine at their fingertips. Plus, they're a military veteran-owned practice. I absolutely love that. Just go in and see the difference, and I think you'll agree with me. They're the best around when it comes to primary care. 599-6868, 599-6868. a brand new endorsement alert on the Matt Murphy Radio Show. Bam, 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 bam. Brand new endorsement alert. Can I get a horn? Can you give me a horn? Could I possibly get a horn? Is that going to... Brand new endorsement alert. It works because it's King & Associates. Okay, friends, I've been looking around for the best in home and auto for a while now, and I think I found them. You've heard Dan Mandis talking about them. Now, listen up. King & Associates, for your home and for your car, two of your biggest investments, obviously, they have you covered. They protect both with coverage that fits your life and your budget. If you're a first-time homeowner, growing family, or just shopping for better rates, auto or home, they make it very simple. No pushy salespeople, which is nice. Just honest advice, personalized service, and policies that actually make sense right here in Middle Tennessee. They are local. I love that. They're independent. I love that. They work for you. Of course they do. They don't work for the big insurance companies. Visit tkinginsurance.com or call 329-8121. That's 329-8121 today for a free quote on home and auto to give you peace of mind. Once again, 329-8121. Just call this number and thank them for being a sponsor of the Matt Murphy Radio Show on Super Talk. We certainly do. You can go online at tkinginsurance.com. King & Associates Insurance, protecting what matters most.
.4:30 on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast and traffic coming up in 5 minutes. Government shutdown update. Stephen Portnoy with a possible new development.
The bill that's now been blocked 14 times in the Senate would extend government funding through November 21st. But with that date fast approaching, GOP leaders are increasingly of the mind that House-passed measure would need to be tweaked.
The November 21 deadline no longer makes a lot of sense, so clearly it would have to be extended.
Senate Majority Leader John Thune says conversations to that end are now underway among lawmakers. Speaker Mike Johnson says if the Senate does pass a bill with a new date, he'd bring the House back into session to take it up. Stephen Portnoy, ABC News, Washington.
Here in Tennessee, Governor Bill Lee committing $5 million in state grants to boost food banks across the state that support families facing delays in SNAP benefits. You can also find resources online at feedtn.org. Going to come in handy. President Trump today posted to Truth Social there will be no SNAP until the radical left Democrats, as he put it, stop blocking reopening the government. This is White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt.
The president does not want to have to continue to dip into a contingency fund that doesn't even have enough money, by the way, to fund the full program. It takes $9 billion to get the full scale of the benefits out the door. This contingency fund only has about $5 billion in it.
Now the push for the benefits heading back to court. A federal judge set a hearing on Thursday. And former Vice President Dick Cheney has died. And a statement his family saying Cheney died last night due to complications of pneumonia and cardiac vascular disease. Here's ABC News Chief Washington correspondent Jonathan Carr.
Cheney was also a driving force behind the removal of Iraqi dictator Saddam Hussein. He played a central role in making the case for the 2003 invasion of Iraq, arguing that Hussein possessed weapons of mass destruction.
Simply stated, there is no doubt that Saddam Hussein now has weapons of mass destruction. There is no doubt that he is amassing them to use against our friends, against our allies, and against us.
Despite subsequent revelations that there were no weapons of mass destruction, Cheney said the decision to go to war against Iraq was the right one.
Dick Cheney was 84 years old. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. All right, getting real heavy trying to get out of downtown, especially if you are eastbound to 440 before 65. Then it's complete stop and go eastbound 440 to 24, and that continues eastbound 24 from there. We got the same slowdown northbound North Loop up to the northern split, and then eastbound South Loop over to 65, northbound 65 up to the South Loop. Got a crash on I-40 East. That's just past Spence Lane. Also in Hermitage, a crash 40 westbound at Stewart's Ferry Pike. I'm Ken Weaver.
Matt Murphy here for Genesis Diamonds. Friends, November is here. That means it's officially holiday season. I don't care who knocks it. It is. It's holiday season. And it's especially a good time for you to start thinking about that home run gift for the loved one in your life. Now, if you don't have any ideas, might I recommend you go to the Home Run Gift Shop in Nashville? That would be Genesis Diamonds. 2 locations, Genesis Diamonds in Green Hills and Genesis Diamonds in Cool Springs. Now, they're locally owned, and I love that about Genesis because they stay ahead of the pack with a bigger selection, new and trending styles, more pricing flexibility, stronger warranty. They're going to take you by the hand. They never work on commission at Genesis Diamonds, which is also nice. So you don't feel any pressure at Genesis. You walk in, they treat you like family. They'll walk you around. They'll show you the beautiful diamonds, the selection of colored gemstone jewelry and earrings, rings, bands, bracelets, whatever the occasion. If it's Christmas, if it's another occasion like an anniversary or a birthday, they've got something for the loved one in your life. I can promise you that. And at the best price around. That's what it's all about, folks, at Genesis Diamonds. So for the holidays, for an anniversary, or just because, there's only one, Genesis Diamonds. Get treated like you are special because you are at Genesis. Genesis Diamonds is my jeweler. I want them to be yours. Green Hills and Cool Springs. What's up, guys? It's Matt Murphy, and look, we're getting older. I mean, it beats Plan B, as my grandpa used to say, and many of us simply aren't where we want to be from a size perspective or a shape perspective. You know, we try to eat right. At my age, I try to eat right. I try to exercise, but the reality is that sometimes we need a little help, and I found that help in the form of my friends at Contours in Cool Springs. They're here to help both the ladies and the men lose body fat and much more. They're ultra slim body contouring guarantees you'll lose at least 2 inches on that first treatment, or the first treatment is absolutely free. It's non-invasive, it does not hurt, and the results are instantaneous. I've gone through the process, folks, and this works. Let me tell you, it works. Now, I understand that it's unbelievable for me to tell you that this is a non-invasive procedure that is guaranteed to work. No incision, no downtime, no pain, no complications. But allow Keith Stephanie or any of the crew at Contours to walk you through the process. And I think once you go through the first treatment, you'll know, like I did, this works and it works well. ContoursLLC.com for more information. ContoursLLC.com, or for a $99 special. That first-time special is available for you. Call and make an appointment right now. 615-236-9960. That's 615-236-9960. And tell Stephanie or Keith or whomever answers the phone that Matt Murphy told you to call. Contours LLC. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. We continue. Murphy Show in progress. Larry and Mike, we'll get to you momentarily. We've got a special guest on the line that we want to talk to for just a moment about a very serious topic, and that is, food insecurity, frankly. Tennessee's food banks are going to get a boost as the federal government remains shut down, and that has caused a lot of concern. It was a surprise to many that we have so many individuals that are currently on SNAP benefits, but we do. 42 or 43 million nationwide, depending on the figures that you look at. Well, Governor Bill Lee announced yesterday that $5 million in state money will be distributed to food banks in all 95 counties, with grants allocated based on the number of people receiving SNAP benefits in each region, so allocated based on need. The governor writing, I appreciate the Trump administration's efforts to deliver some relief for the most vulnerable Tennesseans, but the only true solution is for the federal government to reopen now so that families may receive the full resources they need. The governor's faith-based and community initiative is coordinating rapid response across 95 counties. Tennesseans should visit feedtn.org to connect with resources and opportunities to serve. Now, we appreciate the governor's efforts in all of this, but it's going to take more than just that. And as I've been reminding you for many weeks now, it takes a matter of those of us who can giving to those organizations that do such great work in our community. With that in mind, we wanted to talk to some folks that do fabulous work in our community. That's Nashville Rescue Mission. Sam Seipel is with the mission. He's Vice President of Development and Marketing, and he joins us this afternoon to talk about the needs that always crop up this time of year for Nashville Rescue Mission and how particular they are, especially considering that folks are even more food insecure based on their lack of SNAP benefits. Sam, thank you for coming on with us. Good afternoon, sir.
Hey, Matt. Good to talk with you.
Well, it's always good to speak with you. Before we talk about SNAP and kind of the pressure that puts on the system there at Nashville Rescue Mission, I can't tell you how excited I am for the Radiothon. It's a very, very special day for us at Super Talk. It's a very special day for me. And gosh, it feels like just a month or so ago we were there last year, but it's upon us, Sam.
It is, and we're so excited to have you guys back again. I don't know how many years WTN has been doing this, but I do know that literally thousands, if not tens and tens of thousands of folks in Middle Tennessee over the years who have been experiencing food insecurity or housing crisis have benefited from the annual Radiothon that you guys support each and every year. It means so much.
Well, we'll be doing that later on this month. Excited about it, and I hope that folks are planning. If you can, if you have the ability, God bless you for those of you who do, to give to Nashville Rescue Mission, such a wonderful organization in our community. And I love the fact, and I remind people always that you guys, you do not receive assistance from the government. You are fully funded by the generosity of the people in and around our community. Do I have that right, Sam?
You do have it right, and that's the way the mission has been since its founding. It's very intentional. It's a part of who we are. Because, we're a Christian ministry, and not only do we want to be able to provide the essential services and programs that are needed by needy individuals, but we want to be able to do so in a way where we can openly share our faith, where we can introduce people to a God who loves them, along with, the hearty meal that they'll receive, the food, the clothing, the shelter, the hygiene, so that, again, because we are blessed in the sense that we're not dependent upon the whims of politics, so because we don't receive government funding, but rather we do depend greatly upon the generosity of individuals throughout Middle Tennessee, churches, corporations, and foundations.
And Sam, while we don't depend on, the government for any of our funding mechanisms, at the same time, actions of the government do have a dramatic impact. And part of the reason we wanted to talk to you today was to get a sense from your perspective what that impact has been and what it potentially can be. I know from my experience with the mission, but maybe some don't, that you're more than just a place to spend the night. And a lot of people understand that those who do not have housing in our community can rely on Nashville Rescue Mission for a place to sleep, particularly when the cold weather comes, obviously, but any time of the year. But also, you're a much-needed service to folks who are food insecure, generally speaking, and I fear that an absence of SNAP benefits, regardless of the politics involved in any of it, an absence of the SNAP benefits is just going to put a little more pressure on the Nashville Rescue Mission to serve those meals.
It is, Matt, because this is our busiest time of the year, particularly November, December, right around the holidays. We get more people that come to our doors in search of food, but also, as you said, shelter and other services that are needed. So, yeah, having the reduction in the SNAP benefits, that is just, it's having some devastating effects on families that already are feeling insecure about where their next meal is going to come from. So we want to make sure that people know that while, yes, Nashville Rescue Mission is known as being a shelter, you don't need to stay overnight here. For somebody who wants to get fed, for somebody who needs a meal, whether it's breakfast, lunch, dinner, whether Monday through Sunday, we're available. You just need to find out when our meal times are. You can do that on our website, whether it's at our men's campus on Lafayette Street or our women and children's campus up on Rosa Parks Boulevard. You can find out when those meals are served. Just come to our doors and no questions asked. We'll be able to serve you up something nutritious, something warm, but we'll also be able to do it with a smile on our face as we say welcome.
Well, it's a wonderful thing to have you in our community. I often say, and I've said this to Glenn, the president and CEO of the Nashville Rescue Mission, Glenn Cranfield, and I say it to you, Sam, that I look forward to the day that y'all call us up and go, hey, we're closing up. We don't have any we don't have any customers anymore, so we get to close up. But it doesn't seem like that's going to happen anytime soon because there's always somebody in need. There's always someone that could use a full belly. There's people that need a warm place to sleep at night, and we value you so much in that regard. And now more than ever, how can people find out more about the mission, get more access to the mission, and most particularly, if they desire to give early, even before the Radiothon, how can they do that?
Best thing is to go to NashvilleRescueMission.org. You'll see various ways that you can financially support the mission and be able to provide those meals and other essential services. But keep in mind that we also depend greatly upon just the volunteerism of people donating their time to the mission. So we're always looking for folks who are willing to serve those meals here at the mission or help sort things in our warehouse. And speaking of our warehouse, again, we will take donated food items. Again, we don't hand out food like a food bank does, but what we do is we take the food that is donated and we will make it into a nourishing meal to make sure, as you said, those bellies are getting fed.
Well, Sam, thank you so much for everything that you do, both at the Men's Center and the Women's Campus, Women's and Children's Campus. We look forward to this year. We look forward to the Radiothon, and we appreciate every single day of the year, the way that you go about your business, the fact that you do teach about Christ's love, which is a wonderful, wonderful opportunity to not just feed someone for a day, but to truly feed their soul for a lifetime. We thank you for that.
Well said. And Matt, we're looking forward to seeing you and Dan and Chris and Chad, the whole gang here, because we are so grateful for the ongoing support of WTN listeners. So looking forward to seeing that. That's coming up on the Monday before Thanksgiving.
Monday before Thanksgiving.
Before you know it.
Yeah, just a few weeks from now. And folks, if you just happen to be listening to the radio and you have an empty belly, know this: go to the Nashville Rescue Mission. You'll meet wonderful people. You'll sit down with them. You'll break bread with them, and they can feed you for a day. And once again, like I say, most especially, they can feed your soul a little bit longer than that. Sam, thank you for everything. We so appreciate you.
Thank you, Matt. God bless you.
God bless you as well. That's Sam Seipel with the Nashville Rescue Mission joining us for a few moments. It's just a wonderful resource to have in town. And, I find myself on the political side of these discussions so often, and rightly so. I mean, there's a lot to be said about the fact that we have 42 to 43 million Americans that are dependent on the kindness of others through government to provide food for them. And sadly, we are in a place where a lot of those individuals don't seem to be appreciative of the situation that they find themselves in. In other words, they feel it owed to them or entitled to it. Now, that's a discussion that I have regularly, that we have regularly. We play you the clips. I've got more clips. Jackson was trying to clean up a clip of a lady earlier today that was tossing out the F-bomb, demanding that her needs be met. And we'll play that for you in a minute. But our goal in talking to Sam is to remind you that for whatever reason that you find yourself in a negative situation, there are resources for you. And is that not the right way to do it? My frustration more than anything involves the way that we have flipped the script in terms of the order. I believe that it should be that the community that individuals find themselves in, and their, by extension, church organizations within those communities or charitable organizations within those communities, should be there and provide resources for the people who are in need in those given communities. And only if we find a circumstance by which those giving charitable organizations, church-based organizations, community-based organizations, only if those organizations are overrun or cannot fulfill the needs of their communities, only then do you turn to the force of government. Only then do you do so. Well, I am sad to report that we've turned that on its head. And now government comes in first, because government, after all, and the politicians within government, they want the credit. And so now government, and by government we mean force, that supersedes the charitable gift giving of community organizations and church-based organizations and other 501c3 groups. That's not the way that it should be. I believe that most of this could be handled by those groups. We find ourselves in the most generous area, in the most generous country on God's green earth, the South in the United States of America. Look it up. You don't have to believe me. It's not even close. And I fully believe that we can take care of our own if left to our own devices. Sadly, we turn this on its head, and the government takes these things over. And many of these charitable organizations, they dry up, especially in smaller communities. Because, government got this. It's not the way that it should be. 51 after the hour, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Your call's coming up right after this. USS, you know what that stands for? That stands for United Structural Systems. USS stands for quality. USS stands for peace of mind. USS can help you sleep better tonight. How? By making sure that you understand exactly what's going on your foundation, what's going on underneath the foundation, what's going on in the soil, what's going on in your basement or your crawl space. That's what it's all about. They're not there to meet a sales quota or to upsell you on anything. They're problem solvers, folks. When USS comes out to your house, you'll get that. Homeowners simply trust USS, and they have since 1994. They've been doing it the right way since then, and now they have over 30,000 satisfied customers as a result. That's right. Over 30,000 satisfied residential customers. Helping you understand who's the best. It's USS. Get peace of mind if you've noticed the telltale signs or you're concerned about it. You smell musty or moldy smells, or if you've got windows cracking, doors cracking, walls or windows bowing and whatnot. You need to handle it with USS, United Structural Systems. They do foundations, waterproofing, and concrete leveling. 615-488-7855, 488-7855, or online at USSTN.com.
Breaking news out of Kentucky. There is a large plume of black smoke, and there is fire on the ground near Louisville, Muhammad Ali International Airport after a plane crash. We're going to get you the very latest on that at 5 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
That does not sound good. That does not sound good.
Doesn't look good either.
Ken Weaver on top of that. That's coming up in mere moments on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. We'll also give you the full details on Governor Bill Lee's announcement to try to assist some folks who need food assistance in the state of Tennessee. I've got this follow-up with Heidi Campbell. She apparently just finds it, no problem whatsoever to accuse the president of the United States of America of a very serious criminal offense. We'll talk about that. And, of course, your telephone call is 615-737-9986. Larry's been holding on for some time. Larry, I got a couple of minutes for you. What's going on, brother?
Hey, Matt. Thanks for taking my call.
Of course.
First of all, hold on. Will you hush? I am on the phone. Hush.
Hey, what's your dog's name, Larry?
Well, I'm down to two. I've got Lucky, a.k.a. Crackhead. I got Buddy, a.k.a. Chunky Monkey. They're both loud.
Chunky Monkey. Oh, send me pictures, Larry. Pictures.
I will.
Right.
I will.
All right. What's going on?
First of all, say hello to Miss E.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, congratulations to Brother Ken for his Sooners for kicking my damn big orange butt this weekend.
Thank you, Brother Larry.
It kills me to say that, but I love Brother Ken. I'm not gonna dishonor Brother Ken. I do disagree with you on one thing. Saddam did have weapons of mass destruction. I saw videos from someone that I really trust dearly. That was with one of our 3-letter designator agencies that saw those being trucked to Syria. Okay, but that's beside the point. Dick Cheney is a POS, just like John Kerry, just like John McCain. I appreciate their service, but just because you served don't mean that you're not a POS. And I have not shed one tear over Dick Cheney, just like I didn't share a tear over John McCain. And hopefully one of these days I won't have to share a tear over John Kerry.
Well,
I know that sounds rough, Matt, and I
get it.
But
get it.
As a veteran that loves this country, to see them do this country the way they did, especially John Kerry, I mean, I got to watch my language because I don't want to get hit by the red button.
This call will be recorded.
No, Sherry, this call is not going to be recorded.
This call is no longer being recorded.
Oh, okay. Hey, Larry. Larry, I got to scoot the news anyway. I'm going to let you formulate your thoughts, and I'll let you finish them up on the other side. And Jimmy, is that Mr. Jimmy? Oh, Mr. Jimmy, we love him. John wants to talk food stamps. Connie wants to talk about Donald Trump. I want to talk about Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi figured out who the worst person on planet Earth is. The worst person on planet Earth. Lot to choose from. She picked. Nancy might be the worst person on planet Earth, but not to Nancy. She's got another idea. I'll tell you what that is coming up in a moment. It's time for the news on Super Talk.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast and traffic in 5 minutes. And right now in Kentucky, the images are terrifying. There is a large plume of black smoke twisting into the sky. There is a long swath of fire that is creating that smoke, and it is right near Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport. This is the scene of a plane crash, sparking this massive fire. Authorities have reported injuries, but details remain limited as firefighters are working to contain the blaze. And again, the images coming from the scene show a massive plume of black smoke and then a long swath of fire on the ground related to this reported plane crash. We'll get you more details as soon as they become available there at the Louisville airport. Government shutdown update. Bipartisan negotiations underway to craft a new CR paired with a minibus or small package of full-year appropriations bills. Republicans offering Democrats a guaranteed vote on extending Affordable Care Act health insurance tax credits in exchange for reopening the government. But until then, President Trump says no snap.
The groups and localities that have taken this into court say the administration is failing to abide by the Rhode Island-based federal judge's ruling, and now they want it enforced. A USDA official submitted a sworn declaration to the court yesterday saying partial payments from SNAP's contingency fund could take weeks, if not months, to distribute. The plaintiffs say the judge should order the government to pay out this month's benefits in full. He has ordered the administration to respond in writing by close of business tomorrow. He's also scheduled a hearing on Thursday.
Right now in Tennessee, Governor Bill Lee's committed $5 million in state grants to support food banks across the state to help the 700,000 or so Tennesseans who rely on SNAP to help buy groceries. And remember, if you need food assistance or you want volunteer opportunities, you can go to feedtn.org. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. All right, it is taking a long time, as usual, to get out of downtown Nashville. Now, if you're trying to get to downtown Nashville to get out, like folks on 65, you are complete stop and go northbound there to the South Loop. Eastbound 24 from the Eastern Split, it is stop and go. And looks like we got a crash now on 24 eastbound. It is the on-ramp from northbound Briley Parkway. So that's causing a lot of that stop and go traffic. And in Glencliff, we got a crash on the right shoulder, 40 eastbound past Spence Lane. Then in Almaville, got a vehicle fire, 840 westbound between Almaville Road and Horton Highway, exit 42. I'm Ken Weaver.
ever thought about your least favorite thing that's happening on social media right now?
Yeah, there's this guy at Matt Murphy Show.
Yeah.
Awful.
Is he? I need to follow that fella. Anybody that you hate, probably a pretty good guy. 8 minutes after the hour. Hello and welcome back to the Matt Murphy Radio Show. As you can tell, it's going swimmingly. Ken Weaver's back in the news closet. B, he's gathering headlines for a living. He delivers them twice an hour. We're watching the situation over in Louisville.
Man.
What is it, Muhammad Ali Airport, Ken?
Yes, sir.
And it is. It looks bad. Someone said, and I don't know if you reported this, Ken. I was doing a couple of other things in here. That they believe it might be a cargo plane.
Yeah, UPS.
Okay, UPS
is what the
plane.
reports are. I haven't seen anything official, but that is what some of the reports are. Is that it was a UPS plane.
That's bad news over there in Louisville. So we'll keep you up to date on that. Jackson, you had your hand up for a moment. Did you want to say something further to the general audience? Did you want to apologize to me? Oh, that's very nice. Jackson wants to apologize to me for besmirching my good name at the beginning of the top of the hour here on Super Talk 99.7 WGN. Go right ahead, Jackson.
No, I was going to ask, where's News Closet A?
News Closet A?
Yeah.
I almost said, never mind. It's
Is it in Uranus, Missouri?
News Closet A is it's right next to the bathroom. I had a line and I can't say it, and now it's stuck in my head. And I
Just do it.
And now I'm not going to do it.
I got a red button here that can fix it.
It's killing you.
No,
you know you want to do it, Brother Murphy.
News. That's news. News Closet A. If it's up your butt, you'd know it. I'll tell you that, buddy boy. I'll tell you what. You turn that hat backwards when you get spicy, don't you?
I wear my hat backwards most of the time.
I see you in there. There's Jackson Williams. He's a non-producer. He joins us on the program from time to time. He makes sure that everything that comes out of our speaker sounds as good as humanly possible. Nincompoop's in the news coming up in just a little bit as well. And oh boy, Election Day is here. The leftist mainstream media wants to convince you that this is a referendum on Donald Trump because they know the outcome of these elections. Now,
you mean in those blue states?
Mm-hmm. Blue states like New Jersey, Virginia, and a blue city like New York City. New York City! Yes. Zohran Mamdani is going to be a socialist mayor of New York City. Now, half of what he has promised to do, he will not do. The other half will be damaging to New York City. Let's see how much he truly believes that we need to defund the police, as he has said in the past. Let's see how much he truly believes that we need to soak the billionaires for millions and millions and millions of dollars in additional taxation with the expectation that they'll just sit there in New York City and take it. Let's see how far he will go to provide free buses to everyone that wants to ride them. You know what's going to happen when you provide free buses to everyone that wants to ride them? Free subway. Is he doing free subway too? I think he's doing free subway too. Do you know what happens when you provide these things for free? They become toilets. That's what happens. That's what happens. They become toilets. They become permanent moving residencies for homeless people, a.k.a. toilets. Just watch. Now, law-abiding folk who have homes to go to still need to get around the city. Do you think they'll be more prone or less prone to want to get on a city bus now that they are essentially mobile tents used as toilets? Oh, but Mamdani will feel better about himself, and so will the city council. And by the way, Mamdani will get anything and everything he wants from the city council. I promise you that. They look at this as a referendum. Sadly, I've got someone coming on tomorrow, and this information is embargoed. But I've got if you don't know a lot about the Beacon Group here in the state of Tennessee, they're a wonderful organization, and we're going to have them on from time to time. And they just came, the Beacon Center has come out with a new poll, and I just got access to the poll. It is embargoed until tomorrow, so I can't say anything about it today. But some of the results of this poll, and we'll talk about it at 4 o'clock tomorrow. Well, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll offer you a little tease. Tennessee Democrats were asked a question in this poll. And I am bound not to tell you the answers today. We'll do so tomorrow. Tennessee Democrats were asked, do you have a favorable or unfavorable view of socialism? A favorable or unfavorable view of socialism. Young Jackson.
Yes.
Jay Willie.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorable or unfavorable view of socialism?
I'm going to go ahead with unfavorable.
You're going to go unfavorable. Good for you, young man. That's nice to hear. Whether you're just placating me because you know that if you said anything else, you would feel my wrath or not, it's the correct answer. I'll have the answer that Democrats in the state of Tennessee gave tomorrow at 4:05 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. It is fascinating to see how far we've come in such a short amount of time. In the meantime, Larry, I wanted you to have a chance to finish up. I apologize for having to rush you during the top of the hour newscast there. What's on your mind, Larry?
Well, and first of all, salute to Fraction Jackson. I love the man.
Mm-hmm.
He's a great guy.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's not get too ahead of ourselves.
But I first became aware of the Nashville Rescue Mission when with my previous church, I used to drive the bus down there every Friday night and then back every Saturday morning to bring anywhere up to 15 people to the church and feed them. We would we would give them showers, give them a nice warm bed to sleep in overnight, and give them breakfast and then a meal to take home with them. And I am in the midst of taking some money out of my 401k, which is dwindling fast, to donate for the rescue mission for WTN's event. I gotta watch my funds nowadays, which I haven't had to do for a long time, but I do now.
Mm-hmm.
But the Nashville Rescue Mission does such great work, and I really, truly appreciate WTN and all of you guys supporting me.
Well, we appreciate you, brother, and you're a good man, and you've got a great heart, and I appreciate that heart. Pet those doggies for us, okay? Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Several super texters have caught me now on Rumble from yesterday's show. Specifically, 4460 says, it is still up on Rumble, and I just watched the mic call from yesterday. And they provided a screenshot of me looking back into Mike's call after I left. I just want it, you just have, if you know, you know.
It's back on YouTube now.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Or do we just have a 24-hour, what happened?
No, I cut out the skit.
Oh, so if you cut out the piece, you can put it back up?
Yeah.
Huh. I don't think Sam of Nashville's Morning News knew that. How about that? Good for you, Jackson. Way to go. Connie is next up. Are you lying? Are you lying?
No, it's back up. I just had, I've done it. I've had to do it before.
Oh, got it. Miss Connie, how are you?
Hello.
Hey, Connie.
This is Bonnie.
Oh, Bonnie. See, I wouldn't have made you hold nearly as long if I'd have known it was Bonnie.
That's right. I'm special.
That's the truth. I even let you talk on that speakerphone.
So what I want to say, if Donald Trump is really not allowing these people to get their SNAP program, that is terrible. Someone said that he wasn't going to fund it. Is that correct?
Donald Trump said that he would fully fund SNAP as soon as the government reopened. All the Democrats have to do is reopen the government.
Oh.
They're the ones that shut it down. Mm-hmm.
He said that he would if they would agree, right?
Well, I can pull up what I'm doing right now. as we talk, I'm pulling up the exact quote because I don't want to get it wrong. But, he tweets a lot, or I guess he doesn't tweet anymore. He does his Truth Social thing. So it was earlier today that he put this up. Hold on. SNAP benefit. All right, I've got it. All right, here's what he said 7 hours ago. SNAP benefits, which increased by billions and billions of dollars, many-fold during crooked Joe Biden's disastrous term in office due to the fact that they were haphazardly handed to anyone for the asking as opposed to just those in need, which is the purpose of SNAP, will be given out only when the radical left of Democrats open up the government, which they can easily do, and not before. Thank you to your attention to this matter. President DJT.
Okay, so my friend didn't tell me that, and he's a Democrat.
Mm-hmm.
So he didn't tell me that. He just said that Donald Trump wants to take this away from the people. So he didn't want to say the other half. The Democrats are really bad about telling you half of the story.
Agreed. Yes.
So anyway,
that's kind of how liars do, because they know exactly what they're doing too, Bonnie.
Yeah.
They have a losing hand. They tried to play a game of chicken, and they're going to lose. And sadly, they're playing a game of chicken against the food stability of the American people, against the job stability of government workers, against the stability of our air traffic with regard to air traffic controllers, against the stability of our United States military with regard to their pay. They are using all of those entities and more as political pawns to attempt to get something that they could not get through the ballot box.
Right. Well, I want to ask you something. What do you think's going to happen when all those New Yorkers, when that mayor that just got elected, right?
Well, he will be tonight, yes.
Okay, so say he will be. What's going to happen when all those rednecks up there are not going to get the free buses and the free everything that he promised? It's not going to be pretty.
No, they'll get freebies for a hot minute, but those freebies aren't going to turn out, I promise you, like Mom Dami made them sound. These buses are not going to be beautiful and pristine and clean when they become free. They're going to be overrun with homelessness and helplessness and mental instability and urine and feces. I mean, right?
Oh,
you're going to turn what is maybe a frustrating system. I mean, I've never used the bus system in the city of New York. I've used their subway system. And it can be a very frustrating system to use, but millions of New Yorkers use it on certainly a weekly basis, a daily basis. You're going to turn what is maybe a frustrating but usable public transit system into an unusable system, is what you're going to do.
It's going to be bad. I feel sorry for the people up there in New York if they're going to get somebody like that. I think that you can be a Muslim or Christian or Catholic or whoever and still be a good person. But with him saying he's going to do this and he's going to do that, and if he just stands up there and doesn't do it and he lies to the people, I still think some of those people are going to retaliate on him.
Well, I think he'll be able to accomplish a lot of what he has made promises on with the compliance of the New York City Council and reconfiguring and rejiggering some of the budget. He can do that. He has to go to Kathy Hochul, the governor of New York, for some of what he wants to do, particularly the taxes that he wants to mete out on the millionaires and billionaires of New York City. I think she'll be compliant with some of that, but not all of it. One way or the other, New York City is not going to get better as a result of socialistic policies in the mayor's office. It will get worse.
They're going to have a mess.
And, a lot of what he said about the city's police department, a lot of what he has said about law enforcement, it's a load of hokum. It's a bunch of garbage. I mean, there's zero chance as mayor of New York he attempts to defund the police by $3 or $4 or $5 billion, which is what he has previously promised to do.
Hey, Matt.
Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to say thank you for letting me talk, and I'm over at my sister's house. She had shoulder surgery about 2 or 3 months ago, maybe 2 months ago, and just wanted to. No, it's this month. She said it was this month.
Oh.
So,
Bonnie, what'd she have done?
she had her shoulder operated on.
Oh, okay.
2 tears.
Oh, okay.
She
Well,
did too many push-ups.
ooh. Well, tell her to be safe. And if she's going through PT, tell her to do all the PT because it's very, very important. You know, Bonnie,
We just had shoulder surgery.
I had mine replaced. Yes, ma'am.
When did you have yours?
June 23rd. June 23rd, I had a total shoulder replacement.
Okay.
So they put in titanium in me.
You're Superman now.
Well, I
You're
wouldn't
on
say.
the radio. my friend Pat listens to y'all, so if he's listening, he just heard Linda on the radio.
Hey, Pat.
He's sitting there. Hey, I've been in some movies, so I don't care. I like all that.
Bonnie, you take care of that friend of yours, okay?
Hey, Matt.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know that I was a stand-in for Elizabeth Taylor in White Diamond's perfume?
Holy moly.
Yeah.
I'm not going to believe that until I see pictures.
In 1993, I was a stand-in for her. I got it through a movie they shot in Nashville called Against the Wall.
What? No, what were you, 12?
No, I'm 63.
Oh,
I'll be 64 in a few weeks.
Okay. Well, you send me. I'm not going to believe that until I see some photographic evidence of that, Bonnie.
Hey, you met me when they had the Trump thing over at the Lebanon Fairgrounds.
I know you. You're Bonnie.
Yeah, come running to you, and you had your arms out. They're laughing. Oh, God.
Well, Bonnie, I don't know how any man on God's green earth could resist a hug from you.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Well, you take care of that friend of yours, okay?
I will.
All right, I got to scoot.
Bye.
I'll see you. All right, there. Take care, Bonnie. Taking care of her friend who had a shoulder operation.
Did she say
it was her sister, Matt?
Oh, was it her sister? Pat?
No, Pat's her other friend who's listening. Wasn't with them.
Who was that, Linda?
I thought she said it was a cat that was listening.
Did the cat have the shoulder replacement?
No, that was her sister.
Can cats have shoulder replacement?
Wait a minute. She has a cat for a sister? What? This is starting to make no sense.
I think it was a cat named Pat.
That's her sister.
No.
Oh.
No, her sister.
That's a different Pat. There's 2 Pats.
There's Pat the cat.
And then there's a Linda. Well,
Linda's
who the
her
hell?
sister.
Well, Jackson, who the hell's Connie?
I'm just Ken Weaver, and I do the news.
Hi, friends. It's Matt Murphy, and allow me to tell you about Eurofix. For 26 years, Eurofix has been in this community. 26 years. And, they pay their mechanics a little more than the other guys. As a matter of fact, they pay their mechanics a lot more than the other guys. Why do you think they do that? Aaron Stokes makes sure that he has pay not consistent with every other auto shop in town. He pays far better than any other auto shop in town. And now you're thinking, well, dang, Murphy, that means Aaron Stokes is charging me more money. Nope. No, it doesn't have to be that way because he saves money through overhead. He saves money in many different other ways. Plus, he's not charging you to pay for the dealership itself like some of the car dealers around here. No. He can still charge you the best rates around and pay his mechanics what they deserve, because happy mechanics work faster. Happy mechanics work better. Happy mechanics fix it right the first time. Know this. Aaron Stokes was a mechanic himself for years, and now he has 5 separate locations for you to take your European automobile. At Eurofix, they're open Monday through Friday. European vehicles are fixed at below dealer pricing. 3-year, 36,000-mile nationwide warranty on all repairs. 5 separate locations. 844-EUROFIX. That's 844-EUROFIX, or online at myeurofix.com.
.30 on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast and traffic in 5 minutes. And right now in Kentucky, images from near Muhammad Ali International Airport in Louisville show big smoke and big fire after a UPS cargo plane crashed near the airport. Injuries have been reported. Multiple agencies, including Louisville Metro Police and fire crews, are on the scene. Government shutdown, lawmakers negotiating a new short-term funding bill known as a continuing resolution that could extend into January or even March. Here's Senate Majority Leader John Thune.
The November 21 deadline no longer makes a lot of sense, so clearly it would have to be extended.
Leaders reportedly considering a minibus package to fund several agencies while talks continue on a full budget. Republicans offering Democrats a guaranteed vote on extending Affordable Care Act health insurance tax credits in exchange for reopening the government, but it would just be a vote. And President Trump says there will be no emergency federal funds for SNAP until, as he puts it, the radical left Democrats vote to reopen the government. That means the issue's headed back to court with a hearing scheduled on Thursday. And here in Tennessee, Governor Lee announced today $5 million in new funding will go to help prop up food banks for folks who rely on SNAP to buy groceries, about 700,000 Tennesseans. It'll be spread out to all 95 counties. Former Vice President Dick Cheney has died at the age of 84. Cheney spent decades in government, best known as serving as vice president under President George W. Bush. He rejected Trumpism in his final years, endorsing Kamala Harris in 2024. President Trump hasn't issued a statement on Cheney's death as of this afternoon. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt was asked why at the press briefing today.
I don't believe the White House is involved in that planning, or at least hasn't gotten to it yet. I know the president is aware of the former vice president's passing, and as you saw, flags have been lowered to half staff in accordance with statutory law.
That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. In Madison, got a crash Gallatin Pike South at East Palestine Avenue. In Antioch, a crash 24 eastbound at Haywood Lane. It is really backed up. I mean, completely stop and go if you are northbound 65 at 2440, and then that continues northbound 65 to the South Loop downtown. Eastbound South Loop, complete stop and go to 65. Northbound loop up to the North Split. That is stop and go, as is eastbound 24, basically from downtown all the way down to Briley Parkway. I'm Ken Weaver.
Hey, friends, Matt Murphy for Cover Nash. Let's talk for a moment about what Shane Ring has been telling you throughout the course of the year. That is, open enrollment season is, wait for it now, here. Now, Shane would like to disabuse you of this notion that open enrollment is necessary for you to make changes in your health insurance, but it is a good time to remind you that it's time to call Shane Ring and Cover Nash, because if you're tired of health insurance that feels like a mathematics exam, if you don't feel like you're getting the most that you should be getting out of your insurance, it's time to call Cover Nash and let Shane do a comprehensive examination for you. As open enrollment season is here, Obamacare is at it again. Premiums for 2026 are shooting up, sometimes and in some cases even tripling, with sky-high deductibles to match. You don't have to play by Washington's games, friends. Shane Ring at Cover Nash can help you keep your cost 40 to 60% less. Keep any doctor or any hospital that you desire and skip the government red tape. If you're self-employed, uninsured, or just tired of paying too much, call Shane Ring and Cover Nash. Go to covernash.com. That's covernash.com, or 615-465-0023. 465-0023. It's Cover Nash. Real health coverage on your terms, not the government's. Did you see in the United Kingdom, I almost used this as my nincompoops in the news, and I've decided not to, because I think it's a more serious and systemic issue going on in the UK, where recently we covered this case when it happened, where some protesters, I think these were climate change protesters in the UK, decided to smear paint and a bunch of other stuff on Stonehenge. And they were arrested for, obviously graffitiing a national treasure like Stonehenge. And they were just released. They were released because the judge in the UK claimed that the free speech message that they were sending, the narrative that they were sending was more important than the damage that they did to Stonehenge. Y'all following me? Which makes zero sense. I'll give you the details of the case coming up in just a couple of minutes on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Plus, when we talk about nincompoops, let's talk about this lady. Real quick, let's, before we get to nincompoops in the news, let's hear from a nincompoop who's often in the news. Nancy Pelosi had a one-on-one with CNN. Hashtag never CNN. Imagine that. She agreed to an interview with CNN. Now, Nancy Pelosi has announced she's not running again for the Congress of the United States of America. Well, I guess that's fitting considering that Nancy Pelosi is 148 years old and a multi-gajillionaire because, she's just that good at stocks. No insider trading there. But she had this little gem to say to CNN earlier today. Let's listen in.
It's just a vile creature. The worst thing on the face of the earth. But anyway.
You think he's the worst thing on the face of the earth?
I do, yeah. I do.
Why?
She's talking about Donald Trump. Donald Trump. The now twice elected president of the United States of America, Nancy says, is the worst thing on the face of the earth.
It's just a vile creature. The worst thing on the face of the earth. But anyway.
You think he's the worst thing on the face of the earth?
I do, yeah. I do.
Why is that?
Because he's the president of the United States and he does not honor the Constitution of the United States. In fact, he's turned the Supreme Court into a rogue court. He's abolished the House of Representatives. He's chilled the press. He's scared people who are in our country legally.
How many things are wrong with this 1 30-second soundbite? I think we should play a game after Nincompoops in the News where we come up with things that are worse on planet Earth than Donald Trump. I'll start. Nancy Pelosi. Number 2, spiders.
Snakes.
Snakes? Okay.
Ken's going to say woodpeckers.
Maybe. I mean, as long as they stay out of his field of vision, they're fine. So I want to break this down in a minute after Nick. I mean, I don't know that this woman knows what she's talking about, but she's saying, 2 people have actively attempted to kill the president of the United States of America. One of them was a few millimeters from success. Shot at the man's head and almost blew his head off. Do these disgusting scumbags care about any of that? I would never wish for you to do harm to Nancy Pelosi. I mean, it's on me that I wish that Nancy Pelosi die alone and penniless, but whatever. Natural causes. What happened to political violence has no place in the United States of America? Yet she calls him, well, let's listen.
It's just a vile creature. The worst thing on the face of the earth.
The worst thing on the face of the earth. Worst thing. What do you do to the worst thing on the face of the earth? I mean, the level of rhetoric that the liberal Democrats are willing to go to, they don't care that Charlie Kirk got killed. They don't care. They acted like they did. And they didn't even do a good job of that. They didn't condemn these disgusting people on social media that mocked Charlie Kirk's death, the assassination of a fellow human being. These individuals that will sanctimoniously tell you that Donald Trump's responsible for the death of people, and at the same time, they'll celebrate the death of people. No consistency, no values, no morals, no ethics. None. So we'll go over some of the things that are worse than Donald Trump per Nancy Pelosi in just a moment. Right now, it's time for Nincompoops in the News. Nincompoops in the News. Nincompoops in the News. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. It's our opportunity to scan the state of Tennessee, the Southeast, the United States of America, nay, the globe, and find those nincompoops where they live and they breathe. We look under rocks. We peek behind curtains. We find them, and we bring them to you. Ken Weaver has an nincompoop. Jackson Williams has an nincompoop. Matt Murphy has an nincompoop. And you get to vote on who you think the nincompoop of the day in the news happens to be on this day. We always allow the winner of the previous day's nincompoops to go first. Jackson, do you know who that winner was yesterday?
Me?
It was you.
That's the way to go, Brother Jackson.
You see what I did there, Jackson? I could have lied because clearly you did not know.
I had no idea.
But I tell the truth around here. Now, you don't tell the truth when I win, and I see it. I see you. I see what you're doing over there. That's true. I hardly ever win. Jackson, why don't you go ahead?
All right. The state safety coordinator of the Missouri Department of Transportation allegedly pulls out gun during road rage incident.
That's not good.
Harry Adrian IV of Tuscumbia was charged Wednesday.
Wait, Harry, what?
Harry Adrian.
The fourth?
The fourth.
From a long lineage of Adrians.
Of Tuscumbia, Missouri, was charged Wednesday in Cole County with felony unlawful use of a weapon. A criminal summons was issued for him the same day, and an entry of appearance and a not guilty plea was entered last Friday. His lawyer said, "My client denies all charges. They were filed after a disgruntled driver made a false police report. Unfortunately, because this person made an allegation against Mr. Adrian, he has been charged with a felony offense and now must defend himself, not only in court, but in the court of public opinion. We are confident that Mr. Adrian will be cleared of these charges and look forward to putting this nonsense to rest." The probable cause statement says Adrian was accused by two people of pulling out a gun and pointing at them during a road rage incident around 3 p.m. on September 22nd. A deputy wrote that he stopped Adrian's vehicle while he was following the alleged victim's vehicle in the 3000 block of Highway 54 East in Cole County. Adrian allegedly told deputies that he was involved in a road rage incident, but claimed he held a cell phone instead of a gun. The statement, deputies found a handgun in Adrian's Ford F-250. The statement says,
I was outside, but I wasn't peeing.
I did.
I have a gun, but I wasn't holding it up. I know it looked like a gun, but it wasn't me. What?
And he's the transportation secretary
He
or
is
something?
the director of state safety coordination for the Missouri Department of Transportation.
He knows what he's doing. Let him go. I mean, he makes the rules.
Well, as long as he had one hand on the wheel.
Do you know how bad of a driver you have to be to send the Missouri Department of Transportation state safety coordinator into this much of a frenzy?
Must be pretty bad.
The safety coordinator.
He's probably going 55 in the left-hand lane, that fella. You got to do what you got to do.
Charged with road rage.
You know, I have a long-standing theory on these road rage incidences that I wish I had a button. I wouldn't cause anybody any permanent harm, but people that are doing stupid things on the roads, I wish I had a button. If I had my way, if I were king for one day, I'd have a little button. And every time I push that button on you, you'd poop yourself immediately. Riding in the left-hand lane too long, poop immediately. Complete flush. Blinker on too long, pooping immediately. Piss me off, pooping.
Are we talking like a complete and total underwear blowout?
Yes. Yeah, got to pull
Blowing
over.
all four tires
Got to pull over. Now you're not a menace to Matt Murphy or anyone else on the roadways for a while
Except
because
for
you
the
have to
poor gas station bathroom you're going to have to clean yourself up in.
I mean, I do think that we'll have more soiled underpants on the roadsides that we'll have to deal with. But, you know, with every good plan comes unintended consequences. Anyway, I like that nincompoop, Jackson. Mr. Ken Weaver, yours?
Florida woman dressed up as ICE agent to kidnap ex-boyfriend's wife. 52-year-old LaTrance Battle entered a Days Inn in Panama City Beach wearing a black zip-up jacket, black pants, black hat, white face mask, and approached the victim who was working at the motel. The victim asked Battle if she would like to rent a room, to which Battle responded by unzippering her jacket to present a black shirt with the word ICE printed on it.
Jeez.
Battle allegedly told the victim, who was in the process of becoming a U.S. citizen, that she was there to pick her up. The victim reportedly let her boss know what was happening, left with Battle as she feared more ICE agents would respond to the motel if she did not comply. During the drive, Battle reportedly kept speaking badly about the victim's husband, saying she would suffer the consequences of his actions. Battle eventually stopped at an apartment complex and instructed the victim to enter a unit.
Uh-oh.
It was reported the victim spotted a clear tackle box and other items in Battle's trunk before she closed it. Apparently that gave her a heads up, and she ran away to a man's car before the fake ICE agent, Battle, reportedly approached him and asked if he had seen a woman running in the area. According to the News Herald, the bystander asked Battle why he took the woman's phone, to which Battle responded, "She knows what she did." During the ordeal, Battle allegedly showed the victims a sheriff's office card, which identified her as an ICE agent.
It's like a business card?
Yeah,
from
just
the
a
sheriff's
business
office?
card. Officialized business.
Yeah.
Letitia Battle, ICE.
And then she apparently had a handheld radio, too.
I'm going to have to call this in. Hold on.
Hold on 1 second.
Breaker 19, Breaker 19.
We're going to have a problem here.
Got a code 44.
The victim eventually contacted law enforcement and her husband. Later in the day, police located the fake ICE agent, Battle, in the town of Fountain. She reportedly told officers she was on her way to Alabama. Battle is currently on probation for felony aggravated assault with intent to commit a felony, and she's now charged with kidnapping in commission of a felony. She's due in court in May, and she remains jailed without bond.
Yikes. By the way, Jackson, a code 1044 is a riot in progress. Just for those who didn't know. It could also signify sexual assault in other jurisdictions.
Could you present some identification, please?
Here's a business card.
Sheriff's
Right
card.
There you go.
Back to your magic poop button.
Sergeant Johnson.
Would you use it on that Oklahoma kicker? We have a super text asking. It would have been bad. They would have had to clean up the field.
He would have had to have changed shorts.
Yeah, it would have been a blowout because his poor shorts would not be able to handle it.
He would have had to go take a shower.
Alliance, Ohio, a 42-year-old man was arrested Friday morning after robbing the Huntington Bank on West State Street, which marked the city's first bank robbery since 2010. That's quite an accomplishment. 15 full years. According to the Alliance Police Department, Jawan Mason recently moved to Alliance from Akron, Ohio. He entered the bank around 9:20 in the morning. He claimed that he had a weapon. He demanded cash and then fled on foot with approximately $400 in $1 bills.
Where was he going?
Well, hold on for it. Police responded immediately, searched the area. Patrolman Paul Vesco located Mason walking on South Union Avenue near State Street. Mason had changed clothes, but was still carrying the stolen money. Mason was taken into custody without incident and booked into the Stark County Jail on a charge of aggravated robbery. Police noted he had a lengthy criminal record, but that's not the reason he is a nincompoop in the news. The police department says that upon his apprehension, he asked if he could keep the money in cash for the jail commissary.
You know, I respect the play.
I mean, nothing ventured, nothing gained.
Wanted to ask the police if they were willing to deposit the stolen money into his jail commissary account for use while he was in jail. You got to have snacks. You got to have they got delicious snacks at the jail commissary that cost you certain amounts of money. You could use those snacks to buy and trade goods and services while in the joint.
Like a cold drink.
Like a cold drink or like a smoke. They
don't sell cigarettes anymore, do they?
Not anymore. You used to could get smokes. Or you get Ken, you get a looky-loo at that fine picture.
Yeah.
Well, what's somebody like you want to look at that picture for?
Look at my boy. Look at my boy.
Come on, Drag. Let me take a look. Now, what do you think a little picture of that, look at that picture will cost you? How about, what do you think? What it costs, Drag?
3 soups.
Cold drink.
Cold drink. 2 cold drinks.
Jackson, at this point, has zero idea what we're talking about.
What movie is this from?
That's Cool Hand Luke. Have you ever seen Cool Hand Luke?
I have not.
You need to have him watch that as part of y'all's movie thing.
Man, he needs to see Cool Hand Luke.
Yes, sir.
Anything that looks that good has got to be named Lucille.
Lucille.
Look at that thing. Only thing holding on that dress is one little safety pin. Come on, safety pin. God, that's a great movie. That's how we play Nickel Moves in the News. You can vote for me, and I would encourage it. You can vote for Jackson if you want to do that sort of thing. Maybe Ken Weaver is your cup of tea. One way or the other, vote. Early vote off in 615-737-9986. It's 54 after the hour to Mr. Jimmy in a moment. Hang in there, Mr.
Yes,
Jimmy.
sir.
Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Alpha and Omega is not new to the managed services computer industry. They have been around serving Middle Tennessee, small, medium, and large-sized businesses with incredible and exceptional IT and cybersecurity service since 1998. That's a long time, friends, and that is an ever-evolving industry. 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week protection from threats, compliance for all industries, business continuity, and a fast and local help desk. Local is important when it comes to your help desk. Do not rely on AI bots. Do not rely on somebody out of country. Rely on people right here in the state of Tennessee with Alpha and Omega. You get a real person on the phone when you call. They deliver customized solutions grounded in industry best practices. So if your IT contract is coming up or if you don't have one, call Alpha and Omega today. Let them be your IT professional so you can get in the business of earning more money with your business and you don't have to worry about computers any longer. 615-784-0096, 784-0096, or online at ANO.net. That's ANO.net.
6 o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast and traffic in 5 minutes. Right now in Louisville, just outside of Muhammad Ali International Airport, big plumes of black smoke, fire on the ground after a UPS cargo plane has crashed. Injuries have been reported, though details remain limited. There are reports that UPS has said that there was a crew on board the plane at the time. Multiple agencies, including Louisville Metro Police and fire crews on the scene. Right now in our nation's capital, Senate Majority Leader John Thune.
The November 21 deadline no longer makes a lot of sense, so clearly it would have to be extended.
Yeah, lawmakers, he says, negotiating a new short-term funding bill known as a continuing resolution that could extend into January or even March. Funding SNAP is headed back to court after President Trump today announced there will be no SNAP until, as he puts it, the radical left Democrats stop blocking reopening the government. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries at a news conference today pushed back.
These Republicans on Capitol Hill, on the House side and on the Senate side, they don't work for the American people. They work for Donald Trump. And so he's going to continue to make his position clear until they eventually cave, which is what they always do.
Meanwhile, in Tennessee, Governor Bill Lee committing $5 million to strengthen food banks across the state. The grants will be distributed to all 95 counties based on need. They're part of the state's faith-based and community initiative. For food assistance or volunteer opportunities, you can go to feedtn.org. Meanwhile, Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy warning Democrats about the consequences if they keep stonewalling.
If you bring us to a week from today, Democrats, you will see mass chaos, you will see mass flight delays, you'll see mass cancellations, and you may see us close certain parts of the airspace because we just cannot manage it because we don't have the air traffic controllers.
And former Vice President Dick Cheney has died at the age of 84 from pneumonia and heart issues. Cheney rejected President Trump in his final years and endorsed Kamala Harris in 2024. During a news conference on the government shutdown today, House Speaker Mike Johnson offered condolences.
Our condolences, our prayers go out to the Cheney family. Of course, we've had the loss now of former Vice President Dick Cheney. Scripture is very clear. We give honor where honor is due, and someone who gave their life, loved their country, loved serving their country in so many capacities.
That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. Over by the airport, police reporting a crash 40 eastbound at Briley Parkway. Then in Murfreesboro, 24 westbound. This is going to be between Medical Center Parkway and I-840. I'm Ken Weaver.
Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Polls are closing in certain places that are voting today. The mainstream media is obsessed with it. And I suppose they're obsessed with it because they understand what the outcomes are going to be. They've set this up as a referendum on Donald Trump, and if the outcome is unfavorable to the Republicans, then that's a negative referendum on Donald Trump, according to the mainstream media, and I guess that's the way that goes. New York City, it's almost a fate certain that Zohran Mamdani will be the next mayor of New York. How that shakes out remains to be seen. Thank God that I don't live in New York City. Thank God that I don't know the last time I visited New York City. Have you ever visited New York City, Jackson?
Have not. Want to go.
Do you?
Yeah.
What's on your list of things that you want to do? What about you, Ken? You ever been in New York City?
Never been.
Never been to New York City. You got a list of favorite things you would do in New York City there, Ken Weaver?
Not really. I've heard the pizza's good.
Pizza's good. Delmonico's is pretty good. First steakhouse in the United States of America. I've eaten there. Had to yell at a waiter. Anyway, Jackson, what would you want to do in New York City? Statue of Liberty?
Statue of Liberty.
Sure.
The 9/11 Museum.
100%.
Yeah, I'd do that.
Very, very good.
Definitely do that.
Very emotional. Cry like a baby. Absolutely cry like a baby.
I'd like to go see a taping of SNL.
Very small space. I've never been, but that's what I hear. Very teeny space.
Probably go see a show.
Itty bitty. Oh, a Broadway show. Oh, yeah. You look like the Hamilton type.
I would go see Hamilton. I'm not gonna lie to you.
What about Wicked? You can go see Wicked, wouldn't you?
No.
You don't want to see the Green Girl?
It'd be either Hamilton or Book of Mormon.
You know, never got into. I hated musicals.
I'd stand behind Savannah Guthrie and take my shirt off while they were doing the news on NBC.
Jiggle it a little. That's nice. I love that. Stand outside.
Dance.
Yeah. Outside in the little atrium area or whatever they call that and just do a little jiggle. In the plaza. The old outside plaza area off of. And was that the Today Show?
Yeah.
I got on the Today Show one time, Ken. Some listeners, when I was in Birmingham, made a poster board of me. Said, "We love Matt Murphy," and held it up on the NBC Today Show. I was very proud of that. Anyway, duly noted, I will not be going to New York City anytime soon. Not because of Zohran Mamdani's presence as mayor there, but we'll be reporting back on what goes down. New Jersey, a little bit of a different deal as it is razor thin with the gubernatorial election in New Jersey. Virginia is almost a fate certain. It is believed that this Abigail Spainberger or whatever will win over Winsome Sears. Not so sure about the Attorney General's race. You know, Jay Jones in that race was caught saying the most awful, evil, just the most awful things imaginable on text message about his political opponents, wishing them death, wishing death of their children, for goodness sake. And he's in a razor-thin race with the Republican, the sitting Attorney General, and the Republican in that race. In the meantime, as Ken Weaver has been reporting, there was an air crash at Muhammad Ali Airport in Louisville, Kentucky, not St. Louis. Emergency crews have responded to a large fire at the Muhammad Ali Airport following that plane crash, as Weaver has reported from the Super Talk 99.7 WTN newsroom. According to officials, calls came in at about 5:14 local time of a plane crash near Fern Valley and Grade Lane, which are closed indefinitely. Shelter in place was issued for all locations within 5 miles of the airport northbound to the Ohio River. And the FAA has released the following statement. UPS Flight 2976 crashed around 5:15 p.m. local time after departing from Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport. The McDonnell Douglas MD-11 was headed to Daniel, I don't know how to pronounce that man's last name, in Honolulu. He's a politician there. International Airport. The FAA and NTSB will investigate. The NTSB will lead the investigation and provide any and all updates. UPS said there were 3 people on board the plane, but did not confirm any additional information about injuries or fatalities. But it is expected that all 3 of those souls on the plane have been killed. Mr. Jimmy is next up. Hello, Jimmy. How are you?
Getting older by the minute.
Older by the day. Yes, sir. What's on your mind, Mr. Jimmy?
Younger by the day. Older by the minute, younger by the day.
Oh, okay. Older by the minute, younger by the... I like that. That's pretty good.
Yeah. I've been trying to reach you. I lost your phone number of your other name.
I got you. Well, I will... I'll figure out... I'll put you... After this call... After this call, I'll put you on hold, and I'll get you my contact info, Mr. Jimmy.
Okay. I tried calling you, the radio station, on Wednesday, Thursday and Friday, and yesterday. Somebody keeps hanging up everybody that's on hold.
Well, I need to look into that, Mr. Jimmy. You don't think it was that nasty old Jackson, do you?
I don't know. It might have been.
Might have been. You never know.
Yeah.
I'll give him Mr. Jimmy, I'll give him a firm talking to.
But what I was calling you about, wanted to talk to you about, was that the church I go to over in Lebanon had a 40th celebration Saturday.
Yes, sir.
Friday night they had a weenie roast on Halloween night, and they had a 40th year celebration Saturday night. It's Prophet International. Prophecy International. It's kind of like you go there on Sunday and they give you breakfast. It's kind of like a biker bar.
Oh, wow. Biker bar.
And yeah, they did a Saturday, they did a document there. They had a famous document specialist, a famous document producer there, and did a document of their celebration, 40 years.
That's pretty cool. I'll try to look that up, Mr. Jimmy. I'm sure it's online somewhere.
Yeah, the pastor name is Bob.
Bob.
Yeah, Bob.
Okay.
He used to be a biker.
Just Pastor Bob.
A lot of bikers hang out there.
Well, you know, I kind of like, Mr. Jimmy, you and I, we're kind of partial to those bikers, aren't we?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. When's the last time you had a 2-wheel ride?
Oh, a long time ago.
Yeah.
About 2 years ago. There was a fella across the street that had a new 74. Belt driven.
Oh, nice.
I had no own nothing but chain driven machines.
Well, I don't mind about, my 2016 Harley's a belt drive, Mr. Jimmy. It's not bad.
Yeah.
No slipping. Don't have to worry about that chain either.
I like those chain driven better.
I bet you do.
My first one I had was a 165 53 Harley. And then after that I had an old 45 that I put a V8 engine in.
What?
Drag racing.
You set a V8 on a Harley?
Yeah, on an old 45 frame.
Holy moly. I bet that thing would scat.
Yeah, it would do about 196.
I bet it would. I bet it would. Hey, did you? What kind of suspension do you have on that thing? I bet it would rattle your cage at 190 miles an hour, Mr. Jimmy. I bet it was crazy.
The old spring stuff front end on it.
Well, I will. Hey, I'm going to put you on hold, and I'll get Jackson to give you my contact. Okay.
Okay.
To make sure you have it. Because I don't want you to lose that, Mr. Jimmy. Thank you for the call. I'm going to put you on hold real quick, and Jackson will get over to you, and he'll give you my cell number. From Mr. Jimmy to another Jimmy out of Cookeville. Hey, Jimmy, how are you?
This is Jamie, but not Jimmy. But
hey,
yeah,
Jamie.
we're close.
What's
and we
going on?
both ride motorcycles.
Yeah,
so it's okay.
well, there you go. I got that in common.
There you go. Hey, I just wanted to touch base. You know that these judges who are pushing Trump to release these SNAP funds and everything, it doesn't make sense to me that there's no judge pushing Congress to, pushing the Democrat side to hey, you got to vote this way. These people can't do it. Because I mean, it's really beyond Trump's power to make it happen, right?
Well, I mean, Trump has some level of emergency funds that, at his discretion, he can choose to use in an emergency fashion. I would argue that if you move this up the chain, the food chain, the judicial branch would allow for that executive branch discretion to stand. In other words, they're not interfering with that as their own independent branch of government. But you're exactly right, Jimmy, or Jamie, pardon me, that the purse strings are controlled by Congress, specifically the House of Representatives. So if there's anyone to blame here, it is specifically the government shutdown that's preventing the expenditure of the money from SNAP. So why wouldn't they go after Congress? Why are they going after Trump? This is all an exercise in attempting to blame Trump for something the Democrats are solely responsible for.
Yeah, I mean, it's all putting on a real good show.
I mean, it's a pretty good show. I mean, and the funny thing is, this is even dumb for Democrats because most Americans so clearly see through it that if they were so desperate to get the government back open again, they would just open up the government at the same levels of funding that it was when they shut it down.
Yeah, and I agree. I was hearing Chris earlier today talking about, in a couple of days now that after this election, then a lot of this may just cure itself and come back around, and they'll miraculously come to the conclusion that they want to open it up for America.
Unless somehow they are emboldened by the results of the election, I don't know that they will be. I think they expect to win Virginia. I think they expect to even win New Jersey. I think any election victory for Republicans in this cycle would be a major, major victory for the political right. But yeah, I mean, I think it's a lot of posturing for their political extremes until they get beyond this election cycle. But if the Republicans just dig in and say, listen, this is your problem, not our problem, and you need to vote to reopen the government, I think eventually they will.
Yeah, I think we need to hold.
Amen. So. Yeah, and I think and thank you, Jimmy, for the call. I think it's a mistake for Donald Trump, and I said this earlier, I think it's a mistake for Donald Trump to give them the victory when he calls for an elimination of the filibuster. And I do believe that's what it would be doing. As I stated in the 5 o'clock hour, you're handing the Democrats a short-term and a long-term victory if you call for the elimination of the filibuster. Number one, if you eliminate the filibuster for this specific issue, the Democrats, I promise you, when they have a razor-thin majority in the Senate, they will use it for their own devices. They will use it to push through legislation that is not popular with the American people, and they will not allow a filibuster to get in their way any longer. Number two, more long-term, that's the long-term consequence. The short-term consequence is they will claim victory. They'll say, oh, the Republicans blinked, and the mainstream media will walk along with that claim of victory. Now, that's neither here nor there. Smart people understand what really happened here. But it is what it is. I think you hold the line. I think you hold the line until such time as the Democrats come to their senses and recognize that a continuing resolution is the best they're going to get. And if they reopen the government, that we can have a debate about health care. We can have a debate about healthcare costs. We can have a debate about why the federal government's got to kick in so much money to cover the amount that Obamacare is costing us when Obamacare was supposedly going to be the savior of healthcare in the United States of America, something that it was never designed to be. It was always designed to fail. This has always been by design, that we eventually get to a government solution that involves single payer. That's where the Democrats want to take us. They want it to cost more. They want it to cost more. And they want their illegal aliens taken care of on the healthcare front as well. 21 after the hour, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hi, friends. It's Matt Murphy for Dr. Mitchell, Dr. Ashley, and the rest of the team at the Wellness Institute of Nashville. I made the switch to Dr. Mitch. Why? Because he's the best. That's why. I recognized it long ago, and I made the switch to the Wellness Institute, and I've never looked back. I'm so glad I did, because they provide me with the pain relief that I need in my life with my lower back. Friends, you could be next. Do you hurt? Where do you hurt? In your back, in your neck, in your knees, in your hips, in your elbows, anywhere that it hurts, they can assist you. And they have the big $12 Big Daddy Trump special, too. $12. And you'll get a complete examination, x-rays if needed, a well-explained diagnosis, and your first treatment right there in the office. First visit. $12. That's right. It's an introductory way to say hello and welcome to the Wellness Institute of Nashville. Painisbad.com is the website. That's painisbad.com. Or give a call to 615-246-5009. 246-5009 for our friends at the Wellness Institute of Nashville. No surgery, no spinal injections, and no painkillers. Natural, pain-free living is possible with the Wellness Institute of Nashville. My name's Matt Murphy, and the Wellness Institute of Nashville has my seal of approval. So we're talking about this plane crash in Louisville. Meantime, more than half, this is according to Secretary Sean Duffy, more than half, 64.8% of yesterday's flight delays were due to staffing issues at air traffic control. That is a record for the shutdown. That is on Chuck Schumer, Hakeem Jeffries. They are holding the American people hostage. They have shut down the government, holding us hostage in demand of more health care subsidy, more health care benefit, in demand that the people who spoke last November, their voices are overcome by the minority in Washington, D.C. Democrats need to come to the table. Democrats need to reopen the government of the United States of America, and that much is plain. Let's go to the phones and talk with Tiny. He wants to talk about that plane crash. Hey, Tiny.
Greetings and salutations, gentlemen and Matt.
Ha ha. What's going on?
I came through Louisville after the plane crash, and you had a column of smoke about 200 feet in the air, and then it just kind of veered off and made a shelf that drifted over downtown Louisville. So, you know, it was well above town, but I'd say as the sun went down and the temperature started dropping, the smoke's probably going to make it down to town.
Oh, you think it will, the smoke will just kind of sink?
The smoke will probably settle as temperature drops.
Mm-hmm.
And they've got a shelter-in-place warning for anybody downwind from the airport.
Wow.
They said there were multiple explosions at the scene. So,
well, I mean, who knows what that? Apparently, the flight was taking off.
So he had a full load of fuel on.
So it had a full load of fuel going to Hawaii. So clearly, I mean, that's a lot of fuel, and who knows what was hit. Let's pray God that no one was hurt on the ground. Obviously, 3 in the plane, presumed dead. But you were driving through and saw this?
I was driving through after it happened, and with all the smoke, just like a mile and a half, 2 miles from the interstate, traffic was just a little bit slower than morning rush hour on 24th.
Oh, man. Well, that's kind of slow. That's pretty bad. Well, I appreciate the on-the-scene report. What else you got?
Did you get the 6-month extended warranty on your T-Move shoulder?
I hope so. You know, I graduated PT today, Tiny.
All right.
Yeah. Today was my last official day in physical therapy with Abigail the abuser.
Been there, done that.
Man, oh, man. Well, I hope I have the extended warranty on the shoulder. Otherwise, things are going to start crapping out here in the next few days, few weeks. Thank you, Tiny, for the call. Yeah, PT was complete today there, Jackson. Thanks for asking.
Did you wear your cap and gown?
No cap and no gown. No ceremony, no diploma, no nothing. Just, hey, thanks for coming in. Appreciate you. See you next time.
See you next time.
Hopefully there won't be one. No, in all seriousness, I can't say enough about Advanced Orthopedics and Spine, AOS, over there in Mount Juliet. Dr. Hageman, Dr. Marinu, and were my surgeons. Thank you for everything that you've done. They made me aware that there will be soreness for the foreseeable future. Obviously, I've got another checkup in December with those guys. But they've made it clear that, and told me from the beginning that I was going to go through roughly 16 weeks of physical therapy. I would go through, another 3 to 6 months of soreness, general, not discomfort any longer, but soreness as a result of having a brand new shoulder. I mean, that's kind of the way that it goes. But the long-term impact is no more pain. And I can already tell you that I don't have the hitching. Dr. Hageman doubled down on what he told me originally right after the surgery. When I talked to him on the phone last week, he said, more osteophytes than I've ever seen on anybody's shoulder. I was like, well, I've always been an overachiever, Doc, an overachiever. But thank you to Abigail the abuser. In all seriousness, she was great, absolutely fabulous at her craft. And we had her on once, and I told her I needed to have her on one more time before we said our final goodbyes because she's a good person and does great work. Obviously, look, those folks, they are, half of what they do. I don't know if you've ever been through that. I'd never been through any level of physical therapy like that, rehabilitative physical therapy. But half of what they do is psychological. And a lot of what they do is figuring out, and I was talking to Abby about this. I was like, you have to figure out what the limitations are for your patients and how far you can push them, because you're dealing, believe it or not, I'm one of the younger patients that they see at 52 years of age, because, oftentimes we're dealing with folks whose parts have gone out on them. Now, there were younger patients because obviously there were some that, had injury and they had repairs due to injury and not just due to breakdown, if you will. But thanks to those guys. And Tiny, I appreciate you inspiring me to mention that final PT visit was earlier today at AOS. And if you talk to any of those guys over there, or if you go to PT over there, just remind them how much I appreciate what they do. I truly do. And could not have gotten to this point without them. Now there's just a lot of strength building and that sort of thing. And back on the golf course, I'm cleared. I asked Abigail today, I was like, is there anything I can't do? She said, no. Just don't make it a point to try to lift hay bales and whatnot with too much regularity yet until you build up some strength in your body.
Back on the golf course?
Back on the golf course, baby. Let's go. I'll golf, you drink. Fair?
No, I golf.
Do you now?
How about I drive, you chip and putt?
Oh, that's fair, because I suck at driving anyway. 32
I can't chip and putt.
Well, there you go. Make a good scramble. 32 after the hour. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Friends, it's Matt Murphy, and I'm sad to tell you some news. You know, it's Tuesday. And when I talk about Volunteer Outfitters on Tuesday and all the great things they do at Volunteer Outfitters and all the wonderful things that they have at Volunteer Outfitters to fit you up for the bird field or to fit you up for your hunting season needs or to fit you up for game day or to fit you up for the fall or fit you up and warm you up for the winter boats. I talked to you a lot about T-Shirt Tuesday, but I've got sad news. They close at 6 o'clock at Volunteer Outfitters. So T-Shirt Tuesday is over. But I got some better news. You go in tomorrow and you tell them, Matt Murphy was talking about y'all, because if you go in, T-Shirt Tuesday is simple. You buy anything at Volunteer Outfitters and you get a free T-shirt from Volunteer Outfitters. Just for buying something at Volunteer Outfitters. Doesn't matter what you buy. Just go by and see them. They're great people. They got great gear. They've got team gear. They've got great outfits for the outdoorsmen in your life. I mean, I every time I walk through those doors, I buy something. I buy something at Volunteer Outfitters. But T-Shirt Tuesday is exclusive to Tuesdays, but I constantly break the rules. So what I'm going to tell you is, you go up to Hendersonville, get on Vietnam Veterans Parkway, get off at New Shackle Island Road, take a left. You'll see Volunteer Outfitters down on the left. You pull in tomorrow. You roll through there and say, Matt Murphy was talking about y'all at 6:30, and he said since y'all were already closed, that if I buy something today, I'll get a free T-shirt today. They just put it on my list, and then when I go up to settle accounts, I have to pay for all of those T-shirts. So I'm in on the T-shirts for T-Shirt Wednesday. That isn't official. Just go by and say hello to them. Volunteer Outfitters, just down the road from all those high prices. They have great gear, folks. Banded, Huck, Drake, just to name a few of the brand names that you can find at Volunteer Outfitters, the one and only in Hendersonville. Hi, Matt Murphy Show, 20 minutes until 7 o'clock. We will carry on and sally forth until such time as we hand off to Mark Levin. You big dope? At that time, New Jersey polls will close. They're closing at 7 o'clock local time, middle Tennessee time. Already votes coming in the Virginia races. Spanberger is easily defeating winsome Earl Sears. In the lieutenant governor's race, the Democrats winning in that race as well. And sad to note, in the attorney general's race, this is the race where Jay Jones was caught on text message wishing his opponent's death, saying that he wanted his opponent's children to suffer and die because that's the only way that they will change their political positions. That guy is winning. The guy that wished gruesome death on his political opponents, murder on his political opponents, is winning in the attorney general's race. It is an illness that is running through the Democrats. Let me tell you. If you don't believe me, and I don't think that it's most of them. I think they've lost their way in most of the United States of America, but sadly not in areas that are so dramatically impacted by the federal government like Virginia or New York. But if you don't think some Democrats have lost their way, listen to this lady. Okay, so I understand that some people need food stamps. I understand that there are far fewer than 43 million Americans that need food stamps. We've got way too many people dependent on food stamps that don't need to be. If you are able-bodied and able to get off your tuchus and off the couch, you need to go and work before you take food stamps. And certainly before you come to expect food stamps in a way like this lady. This is mental illness at its worst. Go.
Right, so that no food stamp thing is real. I just woke up. I just checked my card. I did not get a deposit of food stamps.
Okay.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
Okay, all right, pause the tape. All right, Jackson, we're gonna play a game of stop-start here because Jackson's controlling this audio. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Okay, absent your ability to go and get a job, and maybe you don't have the ability to get a job. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt there. Okay, you don't have the ability to go get a job. Let's say you're disabled in some form or fashion. I don't believe that's the case, but let's say it. You don't know what to do? Really? You don't know that there are food banks? You don't know that there are churches? You don't know that there are charitable operations ongoing in your community and every community? Once again, let me tell you, in the United States of America, I don't know of a single church, be it Protestant, Catholic, Presbyterian, Lutheran, whatever. I don't know of a synagogue. I don't know of a mosque. And I don't know my Muslim faith very much. Maybe I'm wrong on the Muslim faith because I don't know them very well. But I don't know of a single place of worship that if you went to that place of, I'm being dead serious. This lady that we're listening to, she goes, I don't know what to do. I checked my EBT and it's empty and I don't know what to do. How sad for you that you don't know what to do. Because if you just walk up to a church and knock on the door and say, I'm hungry, you know what happens? You get fed. They'll feed you. I don't know of a single place of worship that if you walked up and you spoke to someone in an official capacity with that church, that they would not do something to help you eat. Do you? Do you? Also, this lady that, and I'm going to get back up the video and we'll start it again from the beginning. This lady that made the video.
Right.
She made the video on her phone, on her cell phone, and uploaded it to her online social media account. Now, it gets much, much worse. It gets very dark here in a second. Very dark. Just fair warning, it gets really dark to include suicide. So, fair warning. Roll tape.
Right, so that no food stamp thing is real. I just woke up. I just checked my card. I did not get a deposit of food stamps. I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
Food bank, church, charity, whatever.
They want us dead. I literally sat with a friend this week while they killed themselves.
What?
Because they got confirmation that they weren't getting food stamps. There was a slew of other things that factored into it, but that was the tipping point.
What?
What are we supposed to do? When is it going to be enough for people to stand up and fight back? This is violence. Answer violence with violence. People are going to die. People already have died. My friend was only one of the first victims of this. We are going to see an uptick in domestic violence. We are going to see an uptick in suicide. We are going to see an uptick in petty theft. And if you think you see someone stealing something, no, you didn't. We need to band together. The only way we get through this is together. So what are we doing?
United we steal. United we steal. All right, couple of things. Number one, I don't know that I believe this lady when she says that she sat there and watched a friend die. Number two, if that's the case, she needs to be arrested. Number three, why did you not get your friend help? You couldn't figure out how to get your friend help? You're claiming that you watched a friend to die. Someone needs to investigate that. Number four, once again, plenty of places to get food in the United States of America. Number five, you not getting food stamps at your demand is not violence. Not even close to it. Number six, if you start stealing food at the grocery store, you are going to be arrested and put in jail where you can eat 3 meals a day. And maybe that's the answer you're looking for. Mike is in Old Hickory. Hello, Michael.
How you doing, Matt?
I'm
great.
wonderful
night. A wonderful night.
Yes, sir.
The Democrats are wiping us out across the board, everywhere, including Trump, who even said, you know what? Let's get rid of the filibuster and then double down. Let's get back to Democrats. All the power they ever wanted. And guess what? They're getting it. We're getting wiped out in every single election across the country. And that's communism coming, folks. And if you think that Donald Trump made a mistake, well, then I'd like to know why. Why is he against the filibuster and giving back these same people that just now they're getting elected tonight across the country, giving back socialism
across the country? What are you talking about across the country?
Well, look what's going to happen in California after tonight. They're going to be emboldened. Yeah, everything that's happening tonight in New Jersey, New York.
It's not happening across. It's like three states, man.
I mean, this is not even.
It's three liberal states. What are you talking about?
It's a wipeout.
What? Wait, excuse me. What, Mike? What? Just
we had a chance, and
Mike,
we're getting wiped out.
Mike, what state was going to be competitive? New Jersey?
New Jersey was competitive.
Well, New Jersey might still be competitive. You don't know.
No, it's not. We're wiped out.
Mike. Mike. Hold on. Mike.
We were within 2 or 3.
I put him on hold. Mike, you need to shut up for a minute so that Matt can talk. And I'm going to bring you back on. You're probably still talking. Yeah, you're still talking. Mike, when did the polls close in New Jersey?
We're getting wiped out by 14, 15
right. Goodbye. It was a mistake. It was just a mistake. If you cannot listen and have a conversation with the host of the radio show, you don't get to call the radio show. I'm here for you. I'm here to let people talk. I love having communicative discussions. But, Mike, I'm not going to do that. I'm just not going to let you talk over me. And I'm not going to allow you to ignore the conversation that I'm trying to have with you. You're like, we're getting wiped out, we're getting wiped out, we're getting wiped out all across the country. We're not voting all across the country, bud. Number two, New Jersey, the polls haven't even closed, so I don't know what you're talking about there. Now there might be a law. I mean, that might be a clean sweep. It's a blue state, you moron. Virginia is a blue state dependent upon spending in the federal government, which is currently closed down thanks to Democrats. New York City, blue. California, blue. New Jersey, blue. We're getting wiped out. We're getting wiped out. Good gracious. Jeff, I'm sorry you had to listen to all of that. I apologize.
Oh, it's okay, Matt. It was just a filibuster.
Well done.
Maybe he ought to be elected to Congress.
Maybe
does
so.
that quite well.
Maybe so.
Talking about this Virginia race, you know, if the AG they got in there, and if this guy goes in there that's hating, wanting to kill everybody and everything, how can he prosecute a Republican?
I don't know.
You would be able to get everything thrown out because, I mean, it's all going to be a malicious prosecution. You'd have to say, I've got to have a change of venue here. This guy is on record of saying, you know, he wants to kill Republicans. So how can I be prosecuted fairly in a state that wants to kill Republicans?
I mean, I am fascinated with the idea of so many people going to the polls and actively voting for someone that wished death on not just his political opponents, Jeff, wished death on their children.
Can you imagine if he had an R in front of his name, how many votes he would get?
Oh, my goodness. He wouldn't be on the ballot.
No.
He wouldn't be on the ballot. He would have been removed. There would have been a demand that he be removed. And you know, the rules aren't the same, obviously. I mean, take this government shutdown, for instance. What do you think the mainstream media would be doing regarding this government shutdown if it were 5 Republicans holding up the government of the United States of America, holding America hostage?
Well, it's Republicans' fault for killing all these people on looking for SNAP benefits.
Amen.
And stuff, you know, since they can't find a job, you know, that it's a good thing that people like me are out here working 70 hours a week to keep their SNAP benefits coming to them.
You said it, brother.
When they get done.
You said it, brother. Jeff, I got to scoot. I appreciate your call. Thank you for being around. I certainly appreciate you. It's 53 after the hour on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. I so appreciate you. Stories we will not get to. The Stonehenge story, I guess I gave you the basic parameters of it. The Stonehenge story is simple. The UK doesn't believe in free speech anymore, and I can give you example after example of people posting things on their social media platforms that are of a free speech nature. People have been arrested because they say things that are, quote unquote, against the idea of what they want in the UK. Specifically, if you say anything against the Muslim faith, anything against immigrants, you get arrested in the UK. And you can see these stories for yourself. However, when it comes to Stonehenge and actually destroying property, they call that a free speech case. Make it make sense, ladies and germs. Make it make sense. Quick time out. Back after this. Mark Levin coming up. It's Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Do you want me to talk about Men of Valor now, or do you want me to talk about Men of Valor in a moment?
In a moment. 10 more seconds.
I'm just waiting. It's Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hello, friends. It's Matt Murphy for Men of Valor. Men of Valor is a wonderful organization that helps men in crisis, truly in crisis. Now, these are men that have committed acts against a society, and therefore they must pay for those acts against society in the penal system. And obviously, Men of Valor believes in crime and punishment, right? They believe in punishing those that have committed crimes against society. But what happens when those men get out? Because I'm here to tell you they do. 90% of men currently incarcerated in Tennessee prisons are going to see the light of day at some point down the road. And what type of man do you want coming out of that prison system? Do you want men that are going to offend again, or do you want men of promise, men of hope, men of valor? That's what it's all about, folks. We equip men at Men of Valor with tools and resources that they need to succeed upon being released. They lower the recidivism rate, and ultimately it saves you money as a result. This is truly a win-win when it comes to Men of Valor. Your support provides critical funding for Men of Valor. They depend on you. Go to movministry.com. That's movministry.com, and see how you can give today to Men of Valor. Their ministry is funded by individuals, families, and churches, people just like you. What a wonderful organization. What a wonderful mission. It's movministry.com. I implore you to stop by their website today.
For many of us, generators are becoming a must-have household appliance. From unpredictable weather to surprise outages, it's better to be safe than sorry. Generator Supercenter of Nashville offers fast and easy installations with 24/7 service and monitoring to all brands of generators and expert repairs done right. Our mission is to make owning a backup generator simple and easy. Visit your local store today or check us out online. Generator Supercenter of Nashville. We serve all Middle Tennessee.